So for people who are watching on the YouTube, don't try this at home because Will's been chugging for a very long time. Yeah, Jake's got the professional, and I don't want to see anyone get hurt chugging like Will. All right, ready?
You timing?
3, 2, 1, go. On today's Pardon My Take, we have our good friend Will Compton in studio. Last interview in the temporary studio. Second to last show in the temporary studio. We do the picks and preview. We're going to talk some playoff baseball, fantasy Fuccbois, Fyre Fest of the week. Great Friday show getting you into the weekend, and it's all brought to you by our friends from Morgan & Morgan. We already know that Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, and we know that Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting for the people with over $15 billion recovered for their clients. And we also know that submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is free and easy. But did you know they're the official injury law firm partner of the UFC? Yes. Pardon my take, fans. Listen up. UFC 296 is coming up. And thanks to Morgan & Morgan, you can win tickets to the action. Whether it's legal battles or octagon battles, Morgan & Morgan's got you covered. And they're giving one lucky winner $2,000 and 2 tickets to UFC 296 to see Edwards versus Covington to go battle in Las Vegas. Entering to win is easy. Just text PMT to For the People. So text the letters PMT to For the People. That's 484-373-6742. For your chance to win $2,000 and 2 tickets to the UFC 296 in Las Vegas. Text PMT to For the People. That's 484-373-6753, or click the link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 48 contiguous United States and D.C. who are 18 plus. Sweepstakes ends 11/20/2023 for entry and official rules. Visit morganufc296.sweep.com. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Friday, October 20th, and the Jaguars might be really good.
Yeah, Super Bowl contenders.
They flirted with it. They let the Saints, the sad Saints, which they are a bummer to watch with Derek Carr. I know
sad.
Yeah, they figured something out in the second half. They moved the ball well, but so sad to watch the Saints play football. But the Jaguars, again, second half got away from them a little bit, but they look good.
It seemed like their scouting report on defense, because their pass defense stunk coming into today. I think they were like 31st in the league. And Derek Carr didn't really take that much advantage. But their game plan was to just hit Derek Carr in the dick as much as possible in the fourth quarter.
And it worked.
Pretty good strategy at the end there. Well, he did, to Derek Carr's credit, he did throw what should have been a touchdown pass to Foster Moreau that got dropped in the end zone. But they are a bummer to watch. Derek Carr, when he screws up, he's just... I get depressed watching him play. It's sad. It's very sad, especially knowing that Jameis Winston is on the bench, ready to go, do all the things that Derek Carr can't or won't even attempt to do. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's very bad. But they would be so much more fun to watch. With Derek Carr, it seems like they're blah. They're like super boring.
They just run. Every play is within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. He had 300 yards on 55 pass attempts. I don't think I've ever seen a team be covered more than the Saints. Doesn't it feel like every time you watch a Saints game, he'll throw a pass and there'll be 2 defenders basically like riding the receiver like they're a backpack.
The only open guy is Kamara. Yeah. And he's always open because he's like 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, so they throw the ball to him a million times a game.
He caught 12 passes.
He caught 12 passes today. His over-under was 4.5 passes. What was that stat line he had the other week? 11 catches for like 30 yards.
It was 13 catches, 33 yards.
13 catches, 33 yards. He did a little bit better than that today. Their game plan is throw the ball to Kamara, and then once Derek Carr proves himself to be ineffective at everything else, put the ball in Taysom Hill's hands when you really need 4 yards.
Yeah, and the Jaguars have won 4 in a row. Jaguars have won 4 in a row.
5-2 looks really good. That's like, I would almost rather be 5-2 than 5-1. 5-2 looks great on paper,
especially when they were 1-2 to start the season. They go to the Steelers next, and they got the 49ers after that, which will be a big statement game of are they for real?
I'm gonna say measuring stick game.
Measuring stick game. But the Jaguars are good. They look good. Like, again, you probably should never let the Saints back in a game. But when games are played, and also the Jaguars they probably do have to clean up a little bit of their special teams because we had the insane play where the blocker on the gunner just like ran into his own guy.
Jacked him up. They had another fumble at the 50-yard line. Like the Jaguars it felt like at points we're trying to be the old Jaguars and give the game away. Well, they had that one play on special teams where the guy jacked up his own kick returner, and the other one where he ran into the Saints kick returner way too early.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was that part of that phase of the game was bad for them. They were up. Part of this is on us too. We're like, oh, they let the Saints back in the game. They were only up 11 points at halftime. So it wasn't like it was a massive lead, but it felt huge.
Significant.
Like they were fucking around with them a little bit in the first half, and it seemed like this was easily the Jaguars' night.
And it became actually a decent game. What are you looking for, Hank?
I was looking at those shoes.
Oh yeah, you like
Cool,
them?
yeah.
Yeah, thank
Sorry.
you. Yeah. Nice shoes. See?
Those golf shoes?
No. They're regular.
I
shoes.
I thought that's
He
why
was
Hank
just
liked
staring
them.
at my feet. I was like, "What's going on?" I mean, we don't really have much more to say in this game. It was.
I'm glad
it was a bad game. Then it became a good game.
Yeah, it was really good in the fourth quarter.
Right.
But I'm also glad that we got the Saints out of the way on a Thursday, so they can't mess up my Sunday.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Although I just would rather not be able to focusing on one Saints game it makes you want to punch yourself in the face.
But it's a Thursday night game, so you got a standalone game. There's football on during the week. That's fun, even if it is the Saints. I feel like we got the hard part of our weekend out of the way early.
Yeah, and the craziest part about this Saints team is they could definitely still win the NFC South.
They could.
The Saints could be hosting a playoff game. I don't want that.
So isn't it crazy? Like, it just dawned on me. The Saints have kind of continued to do the same thing after the Drew Brees era that they did during the Drew Brees era.
They never did a blow up.
They never did a blow up.
They're still in cap hell.
They're acting like Drew Brees is still their quarterback, like the good Drew Brees from like 5 years ago. And they're just replacing him with Derek Carr and be like, we'll see if anybody can tell the difference. Well, yeah, I can. That's not actual real coffee. You replace it with Folgers crystals and it sucks ass.
Yeah. Yeah. The Saints played the Colts, the Bears, and the Vikings next three. Those are all very winnable games for the Saints. So watch out. All right. So the good news is we also had, for the first half of this game, when it was very boring, we had playoff baseball, which we should talk about. You know what?
I didn't catch the final score, actually.
Let's talk about the second game first, because the Astros are back.
Yeah.
The Astros, who would have thought, the team that just has been in every ALCS, has won multiple World Series, a 2-0 lead or 2-0 deficit in a series doesn't really deter them.
Yeah, they were mashing tonight.
They mashed last night, too.
They looked like the old Astros, where their lineup's just too good. Even if they have a couple down games, you know that those guys are still capable of getting up there, hitting dingers, hitting triples, playing small ball, doing whatever. They can do it all. And they're going to be tough to get out.
Scherzer on Wednesday night was not – I mean, we kind of expected that.
He's been very, very bad in October the last two seasons.
Yeah, so the Astros are – I mean, they're going to win the series, right?
I don't know, because then we're going to fall into the same trap and be like, oh, we wrote the Texas Rangers off.
Yeah, I guess it is true, because the Rangers had not lost a game until Wednesday night.
Yeah, and now they've lost two.
And we were like, they'll never lose a game. Then the second they lost one game, I was like, this team fucking stinks.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to wait till all the facts come out on this series before I make a judgment on which team is better.
Yeah, let's wait till all the facts come out, and then we'll make a prediction.
Yep.
The other game.
I didn't catch that score.
It was 2-1 Diamondbacks.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Max saved up all that energy for the Phillies, and some are asking, can they win on the road?
Yes, they can. They won on the road in Atlanta. So the answer is yes.
You guys a system team?
Are you okay?
You need the bank?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good.
Having it be a walk-off, though, do you think the series tilted?
No.
Not at all.
No. The series is not still.
Is tomorrow night a must-win?
No.
What is going on with you, dude?
The milkshakes were bad.
No, the milkshakes were great.
They were.
Your body is bad.
My tongue.
Because I'm having the same problems as you. I'm not making the noises.
I don't know why the noises are coming out right now.
Okay, wait. Just be quiet for a sec. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
You think so?
Better than good.
Okay, so
Who do you blame tonight, Max?
The bats didn't show up.
Wait,
You
go
know what I
ahead.
blame?
Let's let Hank.
No.
Go ahead, Hank.
I have
He's
an
got a
answer.
Smile.
I have a nerd nugget, but you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have a fucking nerd nugget over there.
Welcome to the club.
Go ahead, Hank.
Philly was the first in postseason. The seventh inning double play by Philly was the first in postseason history where there was a 6-4-3 double play with 0 outs and a runner on third that didn't score.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bad base running.
But that was
good for the
Diamondbacks.
Phillies.
Oh, no, Hank.
It was
You
first
nerd.
and
You
nobody
fucking
out.
idiot.
No, the Diamondbacks were the
we're
most.
like, how did that guy not score?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks were the most cowardly.
You thought that was against the Phillies.
Yeah, and then people were like, well, the
Fuck.
infield was in. You still have to at least try to make them think about it.
Yeah.
They just stood there. And then he had the same thing happen, or not the same thing, but a similar thing in the ninth when, what was that play? He didn't advance
There was
to
runners
third.
on second and third, and they went home, and he didn't advance to third. On
Yeah.
the throw home.
It was crazy.
Who was the guy that you guys put in relief?
Hank,
in,
that's
what was that,
fuck.
the seventh inning or the eighth inning?
That's bad.
Hank,
The
that's
guy that
really
has never
bad.
pitched
Ryan
before?
Kirk. That wasn't. He had pitched
It
before.
was his first time ever pitching.
That's just incorrect.
Okay, he threw 3 innings this season.
Chill out.
In the
chill
regular
out.
season,
you got a
he's
milkshake
threw
in you.
3 innings.
Yeah, so you think that's a good strategy?
Well,
to put in a pitcher that's
he's
never
thrown
pitched?
like every other game in the playoffs, and he's looked really good. And he's had like the best stuff out of the bullpen. This is the first time that he was in like a high leverage situation. I don't mind giving the kid a chance. You gave him a chance. He didn't work out. He didn't lose the game at the end of the inning. We were still tied 1-1. We still had a chance to win the game. Just didn't do it.
We need to pause for a second and just really soak in the fact that Hank really thought he was about to dunk on
Yeah.
Max.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, it wasn't
was
true
actually-
to nerd nugget because nerd nuggets aren't supposed to be negative towards anyone.
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up, Jake. That was so bad, Hank. Hank, you really thought you had something.
Yeah, that's really bad. I gotta do some reflection after this one.
You didn't watch the game.
He was feeling himself after his stupid fucking Hagrid tweet.
That's a good tweet.
I didn't see that one. I got to look it up so I make sure not to retweet it.
What went through your head there, Hank?
Let me see.
I did not see all of the game, so when I saw that tweet, I thought it was in reference to the Philadelphia part. I thought that meant the Phillies on base.
When you say that you did not watch all of the game, how much of the game did you watch?
like 4 innings.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I watched the last 4 innings.
This might have been
That
the
was
fastest
in
MLB
that was
game
in the last 4 innings.
MLB playoff game ever.
Oh, when Dumbledore says you got to kill Buckbeak?
Oh, I don't
That
even
one?
get it.
I'm
But
gonna-
it's funny.
I accidentally retweeted
I don't
it.
even think it's true.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think that's part of the plot.
Well, listen, Hank has.
What are you talking about?
Hank has his own choose your own adventure with.
They have to
with
kill.
Harry
They have to
Potter.
kill Buckbeak,
That
and then
didn't
Harry goes
happen in
back and
Batman.
saves him.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, they went
watched
back in time. Oh, you actually did?
it. Yeah.
Max,
Go.
back to the Phillies real quick. Are you in a must-win tomorrow night?
No, have to win one out of the next 2.
Have to win one out of the next 2.
Oh,
That's
we've
the-
been
that's-
gotta
here
win.
before.
Not really.
We've been
'cause
here
the
before.
bank. Just win at the bank,
Yeah,
and you're good.
You could win it. I would feel comfortable if you win one. You got to take one in Arizona.
So this is a got to take one.
Yeah, but you got 2 more games in Arizona.
Who's on the bump tomorrow?
Baseball goes 2-3-2.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like you want it's almost a must win for this one. You don't want it to go back.
Right. If you get to
No.
a game 5, you're already in trouble. Like if you get a game 5 2-2, you're in trouble.
If you have to win one. If you win game 5, you're fine. 100%.
What if you lose what if you lose game 4?
and
Then
game
you then game 5 is a must win.
Yeah,
What
but
if you
then-
lose
Even though
both?
You're not
we
thinking
haven't
ahead.
lost. We haven't lost at home. We're 28-11 lifetime at Citizens Bank Park.
Max, I'm going to say this to you really as clearly and succinctly as I can.
No, you play this.
What?
I have to
What?
go.
What?
Say what
I
you
am
have to say.
rooting for the Phillies.
I hate when you say that because we had this conversation.
We had an offline conversation, which I'm fine sharing online. I'm rooting for the Phillies.
In totality,
They have to get to the World Series.
but you want
Because if they get to the World Series, I will hedge out, and then I will root against you.
Max, here's the thing. Big Cat is rooting for the Phillies, but he's not rooting for you.
Right.
no.
He's
no.
rooting against
Right.
you,
This
but he's
is-
rooting for
right.
If you don't understand that, you need to understand this. I'm actually amazed that you haven't picked up on
I
this
get
in the
it.
last year and a half. This is what Big Cat's doing.
Right.
He wants to see you miserable, but also
I need to win that
he
money.
wants to make money.
I need to win that money.
So he's Big Cat's willing to go as far as he possibly
I'm going to
can.
push it to the brink.
Big Cat's playing chicken with his own money right now.
Correct.
With the fact, like,
That's what
I want to see Max more miserable for like two more losses,
right?
And then I'll be happy if they win in 7 games.
Actually, you know what? Because PFT put it perfectly. I actually think Friday and Saturday are must wins for the Phillies because I won't be around you, so I will actually be rooting for the Phillies on Friday and Saturday night. If it gets to a game 6 and 7 and we're watching it together, I'm liable to switch back.
But that is when you're rooting. That is when you're rooting for the Phillies, though. Because you need the Phillies to win.
Yeah, but this is where you still don't really totally get it. If it was a game 7 and Big Cat's watching it with you, Big Cat's brain at that point would turn into, I get to see Max miserable close up.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. It's worth me winning. It's worth me losing my bet to see Max potentially cry.
But if you can win,
you guys are sick.
I'm just explaining it to you, Max.
I am so sick. I'm demented. Okay, but I'm telling you right now, tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to say goodbye to you for the weekend. You better come back on Sunday with 2 wins in the back pocket. You better come back in the World Series, because if you don't, and I watch these games with you, there's a problem.
I have a question.
It's a problem.
I have a question.
Yes, Max.
You really think
I'm rooting for the Phillies. I just want to say before
if we're up 3-2 going home for 2 games that we're in a bad spot?
No, but if you're up,
but not as good of a spot as 4-1.
If you're up 3-2 going home, and you somehow blow that, that might be worth the bet.
Also, I was saying this to Max earlier.
Could you imagine if they blow 2 at the bank?
Game 7 in this series on PMT New Studio opening night. What a way to open the new chapter.
Oh,
that would be sick.
That's a great point, Jake.
Don't let him go 7. Don't let him go 7.
That would be iconic.
That'd be great, Max. Like as a producer of the show.
Yeah.
Max, numbers.
No one wants to watch
new background.
Okay, well, either way, go. Are you even coming in tomorrow? You're not coming in tomorrow.
I'm going. I'm going to the new office tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You go and get 2 more wins, okay?
I would love that.
And then I'll see you on Sunday.
I'd love nothing more.
You come back to me on Sunday with 2 wins, and I'll give you a nice big hug, kiss on the lips, for the boys.
Great.
I do want to win this bet.
I
really love seeing you miserable. It's addicting.
Game 7 from the new studio would be a delight.
Oh my God, would it be incredible? Yeah, so new studio, everyone who's watching, please subscribe to the YouTube. Sunday night we'll still be here, and then Tuesday we'll be in the brand new Pardon My Take studio, which I have a prediction. I think people are going to love it. The setup is great, but I think there will be a little adjustment where people will be like, "Oh, it looks too clean." We will mess it up. Just don't worry about that, because I saw it. I went the other day, and it when you first are going to see it on YouTube, you definitely going to be like, holy shit, it kind of looks like a TV studio or something. Just wait.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Listen, life finds a way. Okay. You could give us any room in the world, and if you give us 6 months in there, there's going to be puke, blood, tears, just junk everywhere. It'll be great.
I'll save it for my Fyre Fest. I have a story about this. Don't you worry. Okay. Should we go to picks and preview? Oh, yes. JMU 7-0.
JMU 7-0, 6-1 against the spread.
Yes. And
so we were watching this game on the secondary TV tonight. We didn't get the audio, but apparently the announcers acted like they'd been fired by ESPN right before the game. So they just spent the entire game ripping the NCAA for everything. Just like being openly hostile to the NCAA. I like it. Raise awareness. The Dukes have an opportunity.
Yeah. Could
possibly go undefeated. I know I'm getting, again, way ahead of myself. I shouldn't do that. But you can't help but look at the schedule and think. We stunk in the first half offensively, but the defense is like world class. So we can hang with anybody. It was also just a clinical punting night. I think JMU's punter had 7 punts, all 7 of them downed inside the 20. And I think he had 3 punts that were downed at the 1-yard line.
There also was a great moment when the Phillies game had ended. It was 2-1 final, and the Astro game had started. It was 3-1, and then the JMU Marshall game was 3-2.
Yeah.
So on the scoreboard ticker, you could just see all 3.
The next wrinkle in offensive football and college football is going to be just everyone turns into Iowa.
Yeah. Smart.
Yep.
Smart. Okay. let's kick it to ourselves. Picks and preview, and then a great interview with our good friend Will Compton. Okay, time for the picks and preview portion of the show. It is brought to you by our friends at Uber Eats. Delivered with Uber Eats, you can get almost anything. It's football season. You can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can get a running back. You can't get a running back, delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. A strong defense, that's a no. Strong deodorant, that's a yes.
What about a whale flown across the country?
That's a no. A 6-pack of abs, also a no, but a 6-pack of beer, oh yeah. Uber Eats can get you that. So there you have it. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Alcohol in select markets, 21 plus to order. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details. There's nothing better than getting Uber Eats on the weekend, sitting on your couch. Uber Eats, get almost anything. Order now. Okay, week 7, boys. I am so goddamn excited for this Sunday. And here's why. 2 things. 1, the perfect 6-4 setup. We have 6 early games, 4 late games. The second, I don't know. I looked at it last night. I believe it is still the case. There are 8 games, 9 if you include the Jaguars-Saints game that we just talked about. So 8 games on Sunday that are a field goal or less point spread.
Yeah, it's like almost everyone is -3, -2.5 across the board.
It's going to be chaos. Like this, if you just go off the gambling lines, these should all be very tightly contested games, very different than last week, which was a lot of crazy big spreads. I'm ready for it.
And you know what? The NFL owes us. I feel like the quality of NFL games this year has been down. I don't mean to shit talk you, NFL. I love you. Shout out to Roger Goodell, who just got like an infinity $1 million extension until he dies. But
shout out Roger.
Shout out Roger. Congratulations, Roger.
Don't clap, Jake.
He will now, please clap, Jeb.
Please clap.
He will last longer than Paul Tagliabue, who seemed like he was in office forever as the commissioner. Roger Goodell has the best job in the world. And goddamn, as much as I hate him, he is the perfect person for this job. Just like a soulless robot that gets up there, has no problem with getting shit on by everybody, because he either gets shit on by the public or he gets shit on by his bosses, which are all the owners of the teams. And he would much rather take shit from just a bunch of people out there that write mean things about him than he would to have Jerry Jones calling him up at like 3 a.m. every night.
Yeah.
So he's a soulless robot whose job it is to organize a giant orgy of these giant football teams and all these brands to come together and to make as much money as possible for his bosses, the owners. And he does a very good job of that. But he is a soulless robot piece of shit.
He's a human body shield.
Yeah.
He just stands in front of the owners and takes bullets from the media and the fans. And then he turns around, he takes bullets from the other guys, the owners, his bosses, and he gets paid like $40 million a year.
He is the shield. He is the shield that protects the shield of the NFL.
It's actually a 360 shield.
Yeah.
Because it's all sides. He needs the shield.
It's a bubble.
Yeah. No, and he's I also think his temperament is perfect, that he is just smart enough to do the job, but also dumb enough to not fully understand where he fucks up and how hated he is.
Yeah, it might be that he's dumb, or it might just be that he doesn't have any emotions.
Yeah.
It just might be like, okay, I fucked up again.
Well, emotional intelligence is if someone doesn't have emotional intelligence, they could be considered dumb.
It's a type of intelligence, for sure. Yeah, he does a very good job of just taking bullets for everybody, being a punching bag, being a robot whose job it is to just say the party line and act like it was his idea, when in reality it's all the owners telling him what to say, and then put it out there for the public. He takes all the shit from it. The league keeps making money. He's very good at, you know what else he's good at? He talks like a lawyer.
Yeah.
Even though he's not a lawyer.
He's boring.
I think if you were to ask people like, does Roger Goodell have a law degree? Most people would be like, yeah, he's a lawyer. No, he's not a lawyer. He just talks in the specific ways where he says a lot of words, doesn't really tell you what he's trying to do. But then he's like, oh, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't get into the details about that.
He knows when you're talking about a complex issue, the best way to win that is to be so boring that people just tune you out.
Yep.
Like if you just keep talking and you're not saying anything, be like, all right, I guess what he said, Florio will break it down, but no one else will. I as much as I don't like Goodell, because he does kind of fuck over the fans a lot, and he makes bad decisions. I would absolutely, for $40 million a year, have Jerry Jones' hand up my ass while I walk around and, puppeteer for the NFL.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally have his hand in my ass.
No, it's up his ass.
Urban Meyers, too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into some games. First game, best game of the early slate. Lions at Ravens. Lions at Ravens. This is a who are both these teams game, because I know the Lions are very good. I think the Ravens are very good, but I'm going to come away from the winner of this game being like, that might be the team, because this is the best game that both these teams are playing. So much so, I saw this on the Action Network. They are both beating their opponents this season by 7+ points per game. And when two teams meet winning by 7+ points per game on the year this late in the season, the favorite is 52-78-2. Last 20 years, 11-21-1. So that's a pro Lions stat right there. I'm excited. I think Jared Goff has been playing. I know he's our friend. We're biased. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in terms of this season. And I also think Lamar, that offense is going to pop at some point. It might be this week because the Lions secondary is their weakness. Their rush defense, their pass rush has been awesome. So it might be this week. We might get points in this game.
Yeah, I think we might. And Jared is playing, I'm going to say, he's playing at MVP level right now.
Agreed.
He's in the MVP discussion. We just added him to the conversation right now. So it's Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, and Christian McCaffrey. That's who we've included in the MVP conversation so far. Huge news going into this game. Huge news. I don't know if you saw this picture, Big Cat. Do you know who the MVP was?
Yeah, I did.
Week?
I just tweeted it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hank, have you seen this? Dan Campbell, MVP, slime dripping from his face, holding the trophy, his eyes closed.
Looks miserable.
It's an all-time visual from Dan. The Lions, if we're being honest, everyone says they're the third best team in the NFC. I actually think that they've played as good, if not better, than the Niners and the Eagles this season.
And it's really the reason why I'm excited for this game is because this is a game that you'll come out of being like, they beat a good opponent, whoever wins, because you could do the schedule game with the Lions. I know they beat Mahomes in Kansas City week 1. That was tremendous. Since then, they haven't played a total murderer's row. They lost to the Seahawks. Same with the Ravens. The Ravens have played against quarterbacks Kenny Pickett, Gardner Minshew, C.J. Stroud in his first NFL start, Ryan Tannehill, DTR. This is a test. This is going to be the best quarterback that the Ravens play against. And outside of Mahomes, the best quarterback the Lions play against. So I'm ready. I'm ready for this game.
One of these teams is going to be for real. Actually, both teams can be for real.
Both teams can be for real.
If it's a close game.
If it's a 3-point win either way.
You can say both these teams are good.
Yeah.
If it's a blowout, we will be very quick to demote that team to the next level.
Oh, for sure. And the Lions also have the revenge factor of the Justin Tucker kick, which is everyone remembers that game.
Yeah. Lions in the past have found new and interesting and enticing ways to lose games. And when you have a kicker break the all-time record for longest field goal against you, and it bounces off the upright and goes in, you feel like you've checked off every single square of the bingo card. The Seahawks would probably find a weirder way to lose a game. That's the only team that I think has the sadder, weirder
Chargers.
history. Well, no, Chargers and Falcons both have just sad histories.
Yeah.
But Seahawks and Lions find really strange ways to lose games.
Yeah.
And that seemed like it was the last one that they could possibly check off. So I think it's going to be either a normal loss for the Lions this week, or a statement win for the Lions. And with the Ravens, I think the Dolphins the Lions could blow out the Ravens. I don't see the Ravens blowing the Lions out.
The only reason, like I said, I think it's going to be a good test for the Lions secondary. I'm very excited to see that.
Who do they have running scout team for Lamar? On the Lions, is there somebody they could put at quarterback?
Amon Ra probably just does it all.
Yeah,
because he's just I'll stay late. I'll do everything.
Jameson, maybe put Jameson at scout team quarterback. I'm trying to think who else. Hendon Hooker. He's not that as fast though.
His knee's still coming back. All right, Nerd Nugget.
Yeah. Also, it's weird that they're playing again. It must be the 17-game schedule because usually AFC versus NFC is every 4 years.
Right.
And that was 2 years ago. But something's got to give on the ground. Baltimore's 5th in rushing offense, 145 yards, and the Lions in defense is number 1 against the run, 65 yards.
Yeah, no, the Lions front of the defense has been lights out. Very, very good. Yeah. Okay, next up, a battle in the NFC South, Falcons at Bucks. I did a little deep dive into where everyone's at with Desmond Ridder in Atlanta. They are very much still in on him. Arthur Blank went on radio and was like, look, these are growing pains. Arthur Smith had an entire speech where he said what happened. But if you look at it macro or big picture, there are a lot of things that are expanding. You could be talking about the universe or Desmond Ridder. I feel bad for Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder said he has trouble falling asleep on Sunday nights if he doesn't watch the game back, compiling notes for Monday's film session. That's got to suck after a game like he played against Commanders.
Yeah.
To have to watch that back, like Clockwork Orange style.
You think he watches more of it if he wins or if he loses?
I don't know. It sounds like he's a film rat.
Yeah. All right. So it's difficult to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL. If we look at the history of the league, players aren't that great usually in their first 2 seasons, even the good ones. Peyton Manning.
Always say Peyton Manning.
Sucked his first year. He was dog shit.
This goes back to our Justin Herbert point. He should have sucked more.
He should have sucked more. Desmond Ridder, he hasn't been awful.
Well, he was on Sunday.
He was on Sunday.
Yeah.
He was the reason why they lost that game. And if you have a good quarterback on that team, that's the problem is if the rest of the team wasn't so good, then nobody would be talking about how he's not playing that well.
Correct.
He is playing at a level where he's hurting the team. Taylor Heineke probably would be playing at a level where he's helping the team while also hurting it just a little bit. But it's more a product of the team around him is good. And so you just think to yourself, how good could they possibly be? Because I got the Falcons as my best worst team in football, and I've got the Bucs as the worst good team.
Ooh, I think this game might flip that.
It might flip it. Yeah,
I think the Falcons might win, and then you might be like they're the worst good team.
Yeah, but do you think that's like where we're at right now?
I would flip it right now, but yeah.
You think that the Falcons are a bad good team?
Yeah, and I think the Bucs are the best worst team.
I disagree, but
I don't think the Bucs have not beaten anyone.
Depending on what happens this weekend. Well, yeah. So for me, it's mostly just that they're 3-2 instead of 3-3.
Right.
So it looks better.
Yeah, the Bucs wins are the Vikings, Bears, and Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not. I mean, you could make an argument for the Saints. Not saying the Falcons haven't been world beaters either, but they beat the Packers, Texans, and Panthers. If you had to go 3-on-3, I think I would take the Packers, Texans, and Panthers.
Yeah, probably. I think the Texans actually
might be the best of the
six. They might be in. Yeah,
right.
So the Texans might be the best worst team in
they're
football.
Carrying a lot of weight for me in this 3-versus-3 battle that I'm using to try to break down this game.
But we can say definitively, whoever wins this game will be the best worst team in football, or no, will be the worst best team in football.
Yes,
and whoever loses will be the worst best team in football.
Yes,
got it. What I really want to see from the Falcons, just give me a Bijan Robinson game.
Yeah,
stop splitting up the carries.
Yeah,
why are you not giving the ball to him more? I want to see. Like, was it Algier? Is that the name of the backup?
Tyler Algier.
He's like the Ringo Starr. It's like if the Beatles just let Ringo Starr sing all the songs and had Paul McCartney just sit back and play bass. Let Bijan Robinson just take over a game. Just feed that motherfucker.
And it's going to be tough to run the ball. The Bucs cannot run the ball, which is a big problem for them and Baker. And I think the Bucs are pretty good against the run, so might be a Desmond Ridder, Baker Mayfield shootout. Who can make the more plays?
Yeah, we can't wait for that.
I also loved one last thing. I'm like, I read enough that I'm backing on Desmond Ridder for now. Just the fact that I think he knows he sucks, and he has a good attitude about it, which is actually pretty big. Like versus maybe like a Zach Wilson last year, where it's like he didn't know he sucked. Everyone knew he sucked. He didn't know he sucked. So a reporter asked Desmond Ridder what happened on interception, and Ridder responded with which one.
Good.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of, I think he knows that he has to play better. And credit to the Arthurs. It's very easy in the NFL to pull the plug as quickly as possible. First time of emergency. They're trying to see if they can get him on the right path.
Because I think if you bench Desmond Ridder right now,
it's over.
You're done. You're done with him. He's not.
You now are officially in a quarterback.
You're giving up, and Taylor Heineke is good enough where he could get this team to the playoffs, maybe win a game in the playoffs. But is Taylor Heineke going to be the long-term answer for the Falcons? My guess is probably not.
Yeah.
So the upside to benching Ridder is essentially just getting a worse draft pick this year.
Right.
That's what you're going for. So yeah, I as much as I want to see Taylor Heineke play, and as much as I think he'd give them a better chance to win, if I'm running the Falcons, I probably stay with Ridder just for that reason.
Yeah, it's like Ridder's not the answer. I'm fully admitting that. I think he's doing a good enough job knowing he's not the answer.
Yeah.
which just counts for something.
Yeah, he's self-aware.
Yeah, he's trying.
I have a fun game to play because I've been doing those NFL squares, the ones where you try to figure out what players have played for multiple teams.
It's just a picture of Jake.
It's usually just Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
that's always the answer. But whenever the Falcons come up, I can never think of a single linebacker or defensive lineman besides John Abraham.
Dwight Freeney.
He played for the Falcons?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Vic Beasley.
Vic Beasley. Okay, yeah. My question was going to be, can you name a defensive lineman or linebacker that has ever played for the Falcons?
Dwight Freeney did play for the Falcons, right? I'm almost positive.
I don't know. At the end of his career?
Yeah. I want to say he went there. I think he might have even been.
2016.
Yeah, he was
He
in the
played
Super
for
Bowl.
4 teams in 4 years.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
After the
Yeah.
Colts.
I remember it because I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Falcons are going to be for real with Dwight Freeney.
To me, it's always just John Abraham.
Yeah.
That's the only guy that's ever played defensive line for that team.
Yeah. All right, what's your nerd nugget?
This one's actually cool.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
They're all cool, Jake. Don't sell yourself
I'm
short.
shoving my chips to the table.
This
All
better
right,
be.
so you're stamping this cool.
It better be very cool.
I'll be
is.
unbiased.
Okay. The NFC South is the only division in which all 4 teams have reached the Super Bowl in the last 15 years.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
very cool.
Falcons, Bucks,
Okay.
Panthers.
That is
Saints.
very cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's one each week where I'm like, well, that's actually
Yeah, no, that one was very cool.
Thanks.
That one was very cool.
Yeah.
If what was it? If the Phillies win the World Series, will the entire NL East will have won a
In the
World
2000s?
Series? Yeah,
In the 2000s?
yeah.
Not
Except
the
the
Mets.
Mets.
The Mets
Except the
haven't.
Mets. Yeah, it's a Mets. It's a
Yeah.
Mets stat.
But the Mets have won a World Series.
Yeah. Okay. The next game up: Browns Colts. PJ Walker again, but maybe Deshaun.
Yeah, Deshaun, they tweeted out the eyeball emoji with Deshaun practicing today. So who knows? It's a rotator cuff. So he said he might need a couple more weeks off, but he's playing today. He's throwing today.
Fun fact about PJ Walker, because we lost the Desmond Ridder stat. PJ Walker has never lost a home game as a pro.
That's very interesting.
They're on the road this week.
Yeah.
He's 4-0 in the NFL and 3-0 in the XFL.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
At home.
Shout out PJ Walker.
PJ Walker. The story here in this game is like, I know we've talked about it, but the Browns defense is out of this world. And you had the stat, the 1,000 yards they've given up in 5 games. The other stats that I saw that are just insane, they've given up 52 first downs in 5 games. They've allowed 9 red zone attempts in 5 games. And the opponent's third down conversion rate against the Browns this year is 23.1%.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
and
insane.
You're gonna win a lot of games like that. They're also, this is a fun stat, the Browns since 2021 are 3-13 after a win. So
I
not looking great.
I actually like commend that as like an organization, because that's the embodiment of me as a person. Like if I win a bet, I'm like, I'll never lose again, and then I'll get completely blindsided. Like even when we did the Ryder Cup,
yeah.
I did. I remember the first time I was the first match with Frankie, we'd win a hole and then we'd lose the next one right away. So like once you get up, you're like, I'll always be up.
Yeah, Jake, let me ask you this. What did you do on the next hole after you got your hole in one?
Triple bogey.
Yeah,
there you go.
There
Exactly.
it is.
I accidentally teed up the ball, but I hit it in the middle of the fairway.
What?
I wanted to keep the ball, and I did.
Oh, you hit your hole in one ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. I
So,
thought you
like,
meant
if-
you teed up your ball in the middle of the fairway.
No, so if it went OB, I would have lost the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
My
but
friend
like
did that and just
Sandlot.
blasted it into the woods.
I respect that.
He,
Let,
like,
let the
isn't a
game have the
golfer.
ball.
So thank God I
No, you don't need to donate that ball to the
I
course.
have it
out of
hung up
respect.
in my apartment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very relatable. You do something awesome and then you just coast.
Yeah. You're just
So-
like, I'm gonna be good at this forever.
Yeah, so the Browns, if you're looking at the trends, this seems like a trap game, and the Browns tend to take their foot off the gas. Also, when we were talking about how good Myles Garrett was the other day when we had Baldy on, I got a text from our good friend Jersey Jerry yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, he was pissed. He actually
Yeah.
brought it up in advisors, and I was like,
Yeah.
he actually called you out. He was like, and I heard what Eric said, and I was like, what? And he's like,
Yeah.
that shit about Myles Garrett. And I was like, Jerry, that wasn't a diss on TJ Watt.
No. So here, I'll read the text that I got yesterday from Jersey Jerry around noon. So he listened to the podcast, I guess, pretty early on in the day. He said, "Never realized how big of a Myles Garrett fan you are." So I just
Takes
hit,
it personal.
I just hit him with a ha reply, and then I said he's a monster. And TJ Watt's better overall because I knew what he was getting at.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I think TJ Watt is better overall. Myles Garrett is scarier. And then he just replied with this picture right here of TJ Watt in a
With
visor.
the visor.
Looking scary.
Yeah, bully mode.
I did give it to Jerry. I said, TJ is a better football player overall. I think Myles Garrett is more terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially during spooky season because Myles Garrett loves to go all out for Halloween. He's
Yeah, he
always
does
got
the
like the most
sacks.
intricate like I think last year he did like a Stranger Things theme in his
Yeah.
yard.
Yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to what he's going to be doing this week.
Anthony Richardson obviously out for the season. Absolute bummer. Just total bummer. Hank, did you have a ticket on him?
Yep.
Damn.
I'm sad.
Gardner Minshew.
I wish you could just clear those tickets out. I wish there was a way to just like.
Not have to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I know.
I'm
Just
staring at
sits there.
staring at some really bad bets right
Yeah.
now that I have to remind myself of every time I log in.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe the Vikings will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I look at Cubs 100-1 every day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
This is also alternate helmet weekend for the Colts. They're wearing their black helmets.
Oh,
So, Indiana Knights.
I don't like these uniforms. I've seen them. They look like Duke football.
They do look a little bit like Duke football uniforms, but
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. If they win, then they might be cool.
And they should obviously start Sam Ehlinger and then have Gardner Minshew come in. We
Agreed.
talked about it, but that should be the way they go. Jake, your nerd nugget.
The Browns have allowed just 1,002 yards so far this season, which is the third fewest allowed by a team through their first 5 games since 1970.
I heard that nerd nugget, I think, on Monday.
And just a minute
Monday
ago.
show and a minute ago.
I just
We've
read
heard-
what I
Well,
heard
you know,
twice.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
The cool one was read the cool one again.
The NFC South is the only division in which all 4 teams have reached the Super Bowl in the last 15 years.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
But I was like, wait, what about the NFC West? But the Cardinals were 8. So by the time it'll be 24, so 16 years.
Yeah.
Oh, but right now, as it
But
stands
right now, I
today,
guess. Yeah, but it's
So
impossible for it to be beat.
so the great nerd nugget was wrong,
Well, it's impossible for it to be wrong, but right now, I guess
unless
it's
the
wrong.
Cardinals make the Super Bowl.
In
this year.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can't.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
fair
they
enough.
can.
No, they can't.
Because it'll be
2023.
2024.
Yeah.
It'll be the last.
I think meant
it'll
they
be
can't
last
'cause they
Super Bowl
suck.
in our
Well,
30s.
yeah.
Yeah, they also can't. Okay.
I got one other thing. Oh, we should talk about the Colts season ticket giveaway. So we gave it to the saddest jerseys, the saddest Colt jerseys that we had.
Oh, yeah.
And it's I think one dude had a Curtis Painter jersey that he bought.
Well, there was one guy, I think he's a super fan. He had like 8 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had a Curtis Painter and a
Curtis
Darius
Painter actually was good for the Colts because he got them Andrew Luck.
Yeah, he had a Hayward Bay Colts jersey. He also had another guy had an Austin Collie one,
That was-
which is pretty sad.
Yeah,
that
Austin
is sad.
Collie.
A lot of concussions.
Have you guys ever had any sad jerseys that you really regret?
I have a Javon Curse, but I think it rocks. Eagles Javon Curse.
Yeah,
Oh, that is
he
cool.
was
That
sweet.
is cool.
Yeah.
Hank, what were you going to say about Austin Collie?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, but he just. Oh no, I was thinking of Anthony Gonzalez, who got all the concussions.
Yeah.
who's now running
Well,
for
Austin
like
Collie had
senator.
a
I think
really
he's-
bad injury.
Austin Collie also did.
I think
But he was solid. But like, I
Peyton
remember
Manning
him.
hospital passes. He loved to do that to his slot receivers.
his slot receivers like Stokely had a few of those.
Yeah.
I think his tight ends too. He used to lay Dallas Clark out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
congrats to Colts fan Cole and Marcus.
Love it. Okay, next game up.
Yeah, he had 600, 500,
Yards.
and then he got hurt. But
Commanders and Giants. Ty God, I think, again. Sam Howell sack watch. He took a step back last week. That's good. He's been sacked 34 times. He's now on pace for 96.
Yeah.
Last week he was on pace for 99. We're going in the right direction.
Yeah, this is going to be a sack off. It's a sack off this week
Mm-hmm.
because we've got Sam Howell who's leading the league, leading history with 34 sacks. And then the Giants have given up 33 sacks. So Daniel Jones obviously was out. Tyrod Taylor had a few of those sacks last week. But it's going to be a sack. It's going to be a sack festival.
Yeah.
So the good news for the Commanders is I don't think the Giants have gotten more than like 5 or 6 sacks this year. They really stink. Their defensive line is not good besides Thibodeau. So maybe Sam Howell only get like 2 or 3 sacks this week. And I was looking at some of the stats behind because not all sacks are on the offensive line. Sam Howell himself takes a lot of sacks.
Yes.
He hangs on to the ball for a long time.
He does.
So it's not just like the offensive line is giving up, free runners left and right. I don't know if that's a trait that quarterbacks can fix over their careers, is getting better at getting rid of the ball quicker.
I think it's unfortunately it just has to be an injury to then give them the fear.
Yeah,
He has no fear.
he has no fear because
He plays with no fear.
He's a tough motherfucker.
He's a really tough guy.
And the Giants are down another offensive lineman because Shane Lemieux tore his biceps during practice on Wednesday. So
the practice injuries are the worst.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, but like I want to see the injury
yeah.
so I can process it.
Yeah, so it looks to me like this would favor the Commanders' defensive line if I'm just looking at who's going to get sacked more this week.
And also Daniel Jones isn't playing who owns the Commanders, so that's good.
Yep. The referees that called the Giants-Commanders game last year with the pass interference on the last play of the game that wasn't called, they're reffing this game.
Oh, nice.
Again
Redemption.
This week. So, yeah, a little
Makeup
redemption.
call. Makeup game.
Yeah, because the Giants need a makeup call and a pass interference right now.
Makeup game. Okay. Nerd Nugget.
Since entering the league in 2019, Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin leads all players in receiving yards against the NFC East. He has 1,807 next to CeeDee Lamb, who only has 1,259.
That's pretty good.
So no one's better against the NFC East than Terry McLaurin.
He does play a lot of games against them.
Well, so does the Eagle receivers,
so
the Giants
does-
receivers, Cowboy receivers.
But wait, since what year?
2019.
So no A.J. Brown.
No A.J.
included in
Brown,
that.
no Devontae Smith. I don't want to.
It's a good stat, Jake. I like the
Nitpick
stat.
your
No, it's a
nerd
good stat.
nuggets.
I'm not creating these on my own. Like,
Yeah,
the teams
yeah.
provide these.
Listen, when you have a cool one, we'll say it's really
Okay.
cool.
I
When
think
you
that
have
was
one
that was a very cool stat. Did you hear how many more yards he had than CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah,
That's
it's
incredible.
When did CeeDee
600.
Lamb get drafted?
That's incredible, Jake. That's I like that nerd nugget. Did you know Sam Howell has more completions than Jared Goff and Tua? He has more yards than Trevor Lawrence, and he has more touchdowns than Jalen Hurts or Matt Stafford. Sam Howell, I know I was thinking last week maybe he's just good enough to not be great. I think Sam Howell could be great now.
Could be great.
Could be great.
Could be great. I like it. We're Sam Howell guys.
Yep.
All right. Raiders at Bears. Oh, boy. Tyson Bagent versus Aiden O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what the people wanted.
Or is it Brian Hoyer? Do we know?
I think it's Aiden O'Connell.
I'm going to check the game time app. This one's got to be low.
Yeah. I like Tyson Bagent. He looks, first of all, his dad is a professional arm wrestler, Travis the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool. I watched some tape on him, and he is a shit talker.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of like a arm wrestling match, and he'll just say to the guy like, you should just kill yourself.
Yeah, I did some research on
He also says some other stuff.
I did some research on the Beast because his dad seems awesome.
Yeah. And also just having a dad named Travis, like you're already cool.
I didn't think that Travises were dads.
Right. In
Usually-
West Virginia?
Yeah. The odds, if you're putting a money line down on Travis the father sticking around to raise his son, that's got to be like plus 900.
It's huge.
Travis the Beast Badgett, he is a 35-time national champion. 35-time. That doesn't really make too much sense because I think he's like 40.
He's
Or
44.
44. So if he won 35, was he winning arm wrestling champions when he was 7?
Well, he does arm wrestle right and left.
Yeah, that's true. So he's won world championships with both his left and right arms in the super heavyweight division. And his dad was also a national arm wrestling champion. So Tyson's dad and grandfather were both national arm wrestling champions, which is pretty intimidating.
And Travis owns some type of medical supplement company that has the coolest name ever. It's called Vitacell Biologics.
Did you go to his website too?
Yeah, I went to his Instagram.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I went to his website.
Vitacell Biologics. You just basically mash together a bunch of words that would make people be like, oh, I got to get in on Vitacell Biologics.
Are you taking biologics, Big Cat?
I'm taking Vitacell Biologics.
I feel like I need to start taking biologics. His dad also owns an arm wrestling bar in Charlestown, West
Yes.
Virginia, called Billy Jack's.
Yes.
Which that's got to be a very dangerous place to wander into accidentally.
It's essentially the plot of Over the Top, Sly Stallone, incredible movie, except the son is cool and played in the NFL and not a little fucking wet blanket piece of shit.
Yeah. What type of music do you think they got on the jukebox in an arm wrestling bar?
That's just country all the time.
You think it's country? I was thinking Stained, like new metal.
Yeah, maybe some of that too. This is the 29th quarterback starting for the Chicago Bears since the year 2000. That's
Pretty
a
good.
lot of quarterbacks.
Pretty impressive.
So the Browns have lead the league with 35 since 2000.
Who are your top 3?
Oh, Cuddy, McCown, Kyle Orton,
Yeah. Got
Mitch?
you 2 Super Bowl with Rex
Mitch,
Grossman.
Rex Grossman, Chris Chandler was in the mix there.
Mhm.
Henry Burris. There's
Glennon.
a lot of Mike Glennon,
Todd Collins.
Caleb Haney, Todd Collins. There's
Jason
Jim
Campbell.
Miller. There's a lot. Jason Campbell was in there. Matt Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of quarterbacks in there.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo of Chad Hutchinson and Jonathan Quinn.
Who could forget?
That was the Thanksgiving game where they just got fucking obliterated.
To me, this is going to be basically Max Crosby against the Bears.
Yeah.
If Max Crosby has a good game, the Raiders win. If he doesn't, I think the Bears win.
I think Tyson Bagent might be good enough to win a game.
Yeah. There's no tape on there.
He's kind of got that. He's got that dog in him. He said his quote in the press conference this week was, "I've pretty much beat every odds that there was for me, so I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to go out there and fight with these guys to the death and try to stack up as many wins as I can until Justin's back."
He's in fuck it mode.
That is exactly what you want to hear from your backup quarterback.
They should let his dad be the coach for this week.
I mean, he would be better than Dweeberflus.
Just shit talking against
Imagine
McDaniels.
His dad probably is gonna like yell at Dweeberflus from the stands.
Yeah, he should be directly behind. He should be on the 50-yard line, first row, with a megaphone in his hand.
Yes. And then Aiden O'Connell, I have a take. I think Aiden O'Connell might be a future starting quarterback in the NFL.
Why's that?
I saw him against the Chargers. He looked good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he looked all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
They liked him a lot in the draft.
They've got a chance. He's got a chance against a bad Bears defense.
Yeah.
So the Bears are also going for their first home win since September 25th, 2022. Over a year.
So, yeah, Jake, what is the get-in price on this game?
The get-in price is $84.
Oh, really?
$20 off, though, with code PMT. $64.
I would think it would be way lower than that.
Yeah.
Still nice weather. Since you mentioned it, let's do the Game Time ad. It is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. You can go to the Bears-Raiders game for $24. They have flash deals, comedy, theater, concerts, football, basketball, hockey, everything with Game Time. They're obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts, it's the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section, and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
We should also mention Mark Davis cutting a rug after the Aces won. It was so good. So good to see him happy. Just dancing up a storm out there.
Back-to-back champs.
Life.
Yep.
Yeah, so is Mark Davis the best owner in sports?
It's
I mean,
him
we
or
knew
Stan
that already.
Kroenke.
We knew that already. Oh, yeah, Stan Kroenke. How's Arsenal doing this year?
Top of the table.
Top of the table, as always.
They must be.
But, yeah, that was such a fun video to watch. He was just having such a good time. It's just good to see him smiling.
Yeah, he was having a great time. Okay, Nerd Nugget.
The Raiders defense has only allowed 14 total plays of 20-plus yards this season, tied with the Chiefs and 49ers for fewest in the NFL.
Yeah, they keep everyone in front of them. If the Bears are smart, it's a heavy run game because you can run on the Raiders. But, yeah, they do a good job of making sure the big plays are not there. Okay.
Are we getting close to Devontae Adams' trade watch?
I think so.
Because they're not throwing him the ball the last couple weeks.
And he said he was frustrated. Right?
Yeah, because they're throwing the ball to Josh Jacobs.
Devo?
And he might, maybe. And they're throwing the ball to, who's their other receiver? Oh, Jacoby Myers. They're throwing the ball to those two guys when they have Devontae Adams. So just throw the ball to Devontae Adams.
Yes.
That's what I would do.
All right. Last early game, Bills at Patriots. What's the current line in this game?
8.5.
So if it gets to 9, it will be the biggest home dog for Bill Belichick since Tom Brady's first career start.
I'm kind of sick of the Tom Brady stats. Let's.
There's just facts.
Turning the page. Actually, I think they might have been. It was the second biggest because I think they also played the Rams and that was bigger. But you're sick of the stats.
Yeah,
That's What do you mean? So you're never going to bring up any
Just-
good
No,
Tom Brady stats?
No, it just means that Hank is sick of reality. Hank doesn't like reality right now.
This is walk a mile in my shoes, brother. You don't like insult stats? There's literally I'm pretty sure the CBS main account, they have a meeting, the social media team, and they're like, okay, we got to fill our quota for bad Bears stats every month so we can get the engagement. This is stats or stats.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, because you haven't experienced them before.
I know.
Also,
this
here's
is
another
our life,
stat.
Hank.
Non-Tom Brady stat.
Okay.
Josh Allen is 6-1 in his last 7 games against the Patriots. Kind of owns him.
Well, that's interesting.
The only loss was that freezing game you guys went to.
Yeah, Hank's last good memory.
Yeah, he had in those games he has 260 yards per game, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception.
It's great too.
Hank, he has 18 touchdowns and 1 pick.
We haven't
in
even
those games.
done this on purpose.
He's
but
good.
Us just drowning Hank in stats because you can't argue with stats.
Mhm.
They're stats.
Fact or fiction, stats are stats.
Yeah, but I think they're selected stats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from this game, Henry?
I'm gonna be at a wedding. I will not be watching this
Well, that's
game.
convenient.
And I'm expecting to, check my phone, check the score, and the Patriots to be down, probably maybe get 3 points, maybe 10, maybe get a defensive, interception return for a touchdown or punt return. If they get more than 20 points, I would be stunned.
Okay.
So the win that the Bills had, a win's a win. Don't apologize for winning, but the win that they had against the Giants on Sunday night, that was the worst win in the Super Bowl era by the stats.
And that's going to be a big time. That's the thing. They're coming off of a win-loss.
Yeah.
A loss win.
A loss win.
It might be a loss win.
They're practicing like they got beat by 40 this week.
Oh, yeah.
That's a game that they technically won, and they'll be happy they won towards the playoffs. But the film room, they were getting shit on. Practice, they were acting like they lost. That was a big time. Wake up. We're not as good as we think we are. We got to step it up. Win.
Well, here's something good for you, Hank. The Giants on Sunday night against the Bills, they didn't score a lot of points. They moved the ball pretty well because the Bills are very decimated with injuries. They have injuries at every single level on their defense. The Giants are, I wouldn't say the Patriots and the Giants and the Patriots are probably the same in terms of offensive talent. So move the ball.
Sure.
So by the stats.
Okay, I'm trying to help. Jesus Christ, this guy won't even take help.
By the stats, according to Opta Sports, that was the worst win in the Super Bowl era. The Bills are the only team to win a game with fewer rushing yards, passing yards, more interceptions thrown, more fumbles lost, and more missed field goals than their opponent. Prior to the Bills, teams with these deficits were 0-134.
Whoa.
Wow.
So it was as big of a loss win as you can possibly have.
Yep.
And I guess you could make the argument that the Bills tend to play to their opponent's experience.
Hiccuped again.
You just hiccuped again. They play to their opponent's level a little bit.
Yeah.
But in this case, it feels Hank like the Bills have an opportunity to kind of bury Bill Belichick, to just twist the knife, put the knife in his heart, because
Fact or fiction?
Albert Breer reported. Is he fake news? He's pretty well plugged in, right?
Ish.
Okay, so
He's just a bit of a sensationalist.
here's another fact: is that Albert Breer reported this. That discussions about moving on from Bill Belichick have taken place. I can tell you for sure Robert hears the criticism. He hears the anger locally, and people in the building know for a fact that he's hearing the anger from the fan base. I think now we're at a point where, is this just going to be a flat-out firing?
Whoa.
I don't think you can fire Bill Belichick.
Wait, so you're
I
just
don't think so
reporting that
either.
Robert Kraft hears things. Robert Kraft has ears.
No, he's
That's the
also
report.
No,
reporting,
he has a mouth too.
he's discussing the fact he doesn't have Siciliano's ears, but he does have ears. And he says that the discussions around Belichick have been underway for a while. I don't think that there's no chance you fire Bill Belichick, right?
You can't.
No, and that's just like the discussions in the media.
No, in the building,
No, you can't fire Bill Belichick.
ever.
Do you think Mac Jones makes it through this game?
No.
Okay. I mean, this is, yeah. I don't. 8.5 points is a lot of points.
It's
division
tough.
game, home underdog.
Statement game for the
I
Lighthouse.
might have to hold my nose.
I don't know if I can do that. I mean, have you watched the Patriots play?
Yeah, I know.
They should have
Oh,
covered against the Raiders, though. That was bullshit the way that game ended with a drop pass
should have.
and then the penalty and then the safety. That was a bad beat.
They should have. Nerd Nugget.
Bills wide receiver Stephon Diggs is just the 5th player in the Super Bowl era with 100-plus receiving yards in 5 of his team's first 6 games.
Hank
stat.
just did a fist bump because it wasn't going to be.
Well,
an
remember, I
insult
get these
stat.
from the teams. The Patriots aren't going to publish any negative stats.
Yeah.
That would be funny if I was the PR
That's why I
of the
did the
Bears.
punter
I
a
would
few weeks
publish
ago.
only negative stats.
Because punter's positive stats.
I want Stathole. Stathole, if you're listening to this, I would just like for you to compile all the sad Patriot stats this weekend possible, especially if they lose. I just want to spend 10 minutes reading stats to Hank and watching him just reject reality.
Whatever.
Okay. Next game.
You just did it right there.
You can't. I mean, you just at the end of the day, you can't. It's. We've had the conversation a million times. You can't take away the Super Bowls. Like,
No.
I will be able to block out all this negativity and bad.
You're not allowed to
stats.
talk about Tom Brady stats. The Super Bowls are
He got you there.
Tom Brady stats.
He got you there.
No, the Super Bowl's a team, Max.
Well,
the Patriots won. Did Tom Brady win the Super Bowl or the Patriots win the Super Bowl?
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. You're not allowed to do any stats related to Tom
Not the
Brady.
first one.
That's not a stat.
Defense
That's
won the
just a
first one.
fact.
Hank, if you were to rank your favorite, like let's get you out of this negative mindset. Just rank the best Super Bowls that you've won personally in order from greatest to least important.
I would say for me, just the last 3, just because I was able to be there and party with the team after. Starting with the Seahawks, that was the first one I was at. That was the most fun and unexpected after party. Then I would say 28-3. Then I would say against the Rams, and then
I would put that last.
Eagles.
We partied with them.
Okay, yeah, good point.
Eagles, Panthers, Rams. I was pretty young. Like I don't have a ton of memories from that game, so that would probably be 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I would also imagine if you're on the Patriots right now,
But there's just nothing like celebrating Super Bowl with partying with
With
the
your
team.
boys.
getting
your
your
boys.
getting chewed out, getting your ass chewed out in the film room when your team sucks probably is way worse than getting your ass chewed out after like a down game if your team is good.
Mm-hmm.
So like when things are going bad for the Patriots, I don't know if Bill Belichick has a way to turn the entire thing around.
Yeah.
As much as he has the ability to take a good team and make them great after like one down week.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably a bummer. All right. Afternoon games. Steelers at Rams. Sean McVay's on baby watch. So Sean McVay has said that if his baby comes, it's due late October. If his baby comes on game day, he will not coach. Whatever. I podcasted. He also said, I'm not going to miss a game. My son knows better than to come during a game. I think I'm going to predict that the baby's going to be born on Sunday morning.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. This baby, listen, he will become a football guy because he's Sean McVay's son. But babies come when they want to come.
Do you think Sean McVay is going to watch the game if his wife is currently in labor, like about to give birth? I
Yeah,
think he
no,
will.
there's a TV in the game. I went 0-4 on WNBA bets when my first son was born.
And then do you think he's going to have like in that photographic memory that he stores of every single play, he'll know exactly like how many centimeters dilated she is when they threw an interception, and
Yeah.
that'll be like ingrained in his memory.
Yeah.
I think it probably would.
What are you
be.
laughing at, Max?
Oh, I'm just thinking about you just sitting in that room betting on
WNBA. I know,
and
it's
being
fucking
so
brutal.
mad about losing.
Oh, it's
everything.
brutal. And then the last kid I think I had, it was the Warriors Lakers maybe, and I think I had the Warriors, and that was bad. That was it was the closeout game. Yeah, that was bad.
Just let those kids know you're a loser real quick.
Yeah, no, all 3 of my children were born on losing gambling days.
That's great,
So that's
though.
on them, not me.
Because you can spin that out. You're like, it was actually the greatest day of my life.
No, I would have rather won the money.
If one of your, let's say your most recent son, if when he was being born, you had like you won all your bets, would he be your favorite child over your daughter?
Without a doubt.
Your daughter would take a back seat.
Oh,
at that point.
well,
Yeah.
listen, if any of my kids, my goal for my children is I want them to obviously grow up happy, healthy, everything. But more than anything, I want one of them to be smart enough to make me a system to win gambling.
Mhm.
Like they need to learn math. Math will be taught in my household, not by me, but it will be taught. And once one of them gets of the age where they can come and they say, Daddy, I made you an algorithm and here's the spreadsheet, that will be the happiest day of my life.
That'd be your favorite child.
Oh my God. Oh my
You're
God.
going to college.
Listen, Daddy, I got it for you. 60% in college basketball. Just follow this spreadsheet. That's it. That's all I'm hoping for.
I got a spreadsheet, and it tells me that Mike Tomlin, as an underdog, is 55-30 against the spread. I also have a different spreadsheet that tells me that the Steelers are 12-4 in games after the team's bye week under Mike Tomlin.
Wow.
So this feels like
He's not only 55 and what was it?
55-30 against the spread.
I think there's also like he's one game over 500 straight up as an underdog. Like he wins outright as underdog.
Yeah, so everything's pointing like the baby coming, Mike Tomlin's record after the spreadsheet. It feels like the Steelers.
Yeah. No, this is a Steelers spot. You just have to take Mike Tomlin as an underdog and then fade him as soon as he becomes a favorite again.
Also, Jerry, TJ Watt is the best defensive football player in football.
You hear
That's
that,
just for
Jerry?
you.
You hear that? Okay, Nerd Nugget.
The Steelers have the best winning percentage in the NFL against starting QBs drafted number 1 overall, 64%, a record of 66, 37, and 4. And they'll be going against Matthew Stafford this week.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that the Browns have taken a bunch of really shitty quarterbacks with the first overall pick in their history?
How many times have they actually done that?
That's a good question. It just
I feel like it's not as much.
It just feels like
Baker?
something that the Browns have done.
Yeah.
The Bengals probably had a bunch of them too, if we're being
Yes.
honest.
Yes. All right. Next game, Cardinals at Seahawks. Kyler Murray officially off the PUP list. He's coming back, which I think that Josh Dobbs got to be the happiest guy in the world because actually Josh Dobbs is probably pissed that Kyler Murray didn't come back like 2 weeks ago because we had a good month of Josh Dobbs and everyone like, ooh, Josh Dobbs, why isn't he a starting quarterback? And then the longer he stays out there, the more you realize, oh, that's why.
That's the Colt McCoy effect.
Yeah, you can't. He's been praying for this day for Kyler Murray to practice again. So good for Kyler Murray. Hopefully we see him again this year. I do think the Seahawks are going to kill the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, that was fun, what we did, where they were up on the Giants. They beat the Cowboys. I think we're now getting a far enough distance away from the win against the Cowboys. Like, wait, no, they do stink.
No, but remember, they're a great first half team.
Yeah.
They might be the best first half team in football, and they're probably the worst second half team in football.
I also think the Seahawks, that was a loss. Wait, no, that was a loss. That was a loss. But they should have beaten the Bengals, and they're a very good team. And the Cardinals can't get pass rush. I think they're lowest in the NFL. Geno's got a little gimpy knee. I think Geno's going to slice and dice him.
So the first half spread on this is Cardinals plus 4.5. I'm going to take Cardinals plus 4.5. I think they hang around in the first half, and then they do a great job of not making any adjustments whatsoever.
It is also that weird. The afternoon Seahawks games are always like, what's going on?
This is my chaos game.
Yeah.
This feels like a big-time chaos
I feel
game.
that. Okay, Nerd Nugget for this one.
Since Lumen Field in Seattle opened in 2002, the Cardinals have more wins at the venue, 9, than any other visiting team.
Huh.
Wait, say it again.
They've won more games.
Cardinals.
there
Yeah.
than any
Oh,
other
that's
visiting
big.
team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. All right, Packers at Broncos.
Puke.
Is this the game that Russ gets benched?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Sean Payton is very clearly tanking this season.
You saw the clip, too, of Sean Payton talking with Coward when he was still in the media, being
Yes.
like, Caleb Williams is the most can't-miss guy ever.
Yes, I want to revisit that timeout that he took at the end of the first half against the Chiefs because there's no other explanation in the world that would explain what Sean Payton was doing, and he called it a bonehead move. But the bonehead move doesn't begin to cover how stupid that timeout was.
Yes.
I think it's the worst timeout ever taken. It was fourth down. They were punting. I think there were like 23 seconds left on the clock. He lets it run down a couple seconds and calls a timeout on fourth down before he punts to give Patrick Mahomes more time to come down the field. And then they get a defensive penalty. It was a shitty punt. They kick a 60-yarder at the end of the half, 3 points that would not exist in the history of the football universe.
And the man's taking.
If it wasn't for Sean Payton. Sean Payton is also burned. And when I say burned, I mean like not strategic timeouts. He has burned 11 timeouts this year, which is way more than any other coach. He's made a lot of it seems like intentionally stupid clock management decisions. I don't think a guy like that would just forget how to coach and how to coach situational football.
Yep.
I think that the Broncos are intentionally tanking for Caleb Williams, and it's maybe a smart move. Sean Payton seems to like the guy. And if you're tanking for Caleb Williams, you would probably leave Russell Wilson in the game, especially if you don't like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And then you just put him out there and you're like,
let him die.
I'd like to torture this guy because I hate him so much for the next 4 months. Let's just force him to play football at a very low level and piss them off, and then we get a great quarterback.
I agree with everything you said. We concur.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, Sean Payton, one of his explanations for why he's burning so many timeouts was that he has too many words in his play calls. So he shortened up his verbiage a little bit and then continued to burn more timeouts.
yes. The Packers should win this game. They're off a bye. They got a little healthy, and you can run on the Broncos. If the Packers are smart, they just run the ball down their throat. I feel like the Packers will win this game. Also, a good uniform matchup.
Yeah.
I like this uniform matchup. All right, Nerd Nugget.
History says this will be a blowout one way or the other. 5 of the last 6 matchups between the Packers and Broncos have been decided by double digits, including 4 of those by 19 or more points.
Whoa. That's
So
a
these
good
teams
one.
beat the crap out of each other, but it's not one-sided.
Got it. Okay. Last afternoon game, Chargers at Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. His record against the AFC West all time, 28-3. That's fucking stupid. 28-3. That's insane. 3 losses.
The Raiders,
And the Chargers twice.
Chargers twice.
So the Chargers have played them tight. I think basically every Chargers Chiefs game ends in a 3-point loss for the Chiefs.
That's
or
every
the Chargers.
That's every Chargers game.
Yeah, every Chargers game. I kind of like the Chargers here because I don't know. The Chiefs don't cover spreads. The Chiefs defense has been really, really good.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt they're going to win this game, but that's just enough. 5.5 is just enough for the Chargers to find a way in the back door and be like, oh, that was close. Chargers are right on the precipice, even though when you watch the game, you're like, no. Chiefs are so much better than the Chargers.
This would be a big-time win-loss
Yeah.
for the Chargers this week.
Yeah.
The Chiefs do have the 4th best defense in the NFL.
They're
It's
good.
It's crazy to think that, okay, now that team is like elite defensively. And the Chiefs last week against the Broncos, they were fucking around so much on offense. I think that they went into that game being like, well, we're going to beat the Broncos because we never, ever lose to the Broncos, and they're a shitty team this year, so we can afford to have a practice on Thursday. But this week, I feel like they're going to take the Chargers a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. The Chargers need to win. And did you also see that the Chiefs have taken final form as, they've obviously won 2 Super Bowls, been to every AFC championship game. They are the new Patriots. They've taken final form as the new Patriots by bringing Mecole Hardman back.
Yeah,
That's such a Patriots move because they're going to bring him back and he's going to be good again.
Yeah, they're going to bring him back. He's going to get him for cheap.
That's such a Patriots move.
I was listening to the Pro Football Focus podcast, and they talked about J.C. Jackson coming back to the Patriots, and they're like, that's just Dave Portnoy buying Barstool back for $1.
Yeah.
It's true. That's what the Chiefs have done.
Yeah, they're just doing the same thing. We're like, oh, that guy stunk when he left. Okay, well, we'll bring him back and he'll be good again.
Yeah, is he still pretty quick and he knows like when to sit down in zone coverage? Great.
Yeah.
Sign him up.
Do you think Taylor's going to be at this game? Last chance before she goes back on tour.
I think the Chargers are too good. I think they're also Travis Kelce's probably like Justin Herbert's kind of cute. He's good looking. I don't want her at that game.
I saw Travis Kelce bought a new house.
Yeah, he wants more privacy. It has a mini golf course.
$6 million. Ooh, I don't know why we don't live in Kansas City.
Yes.
The house is insane.
It's got a mini golf course. What else does it have? I was
Pool,
looking at the list
gated
of features on there.
community.
It's got everything.
I think about that just looking at like different places in America being like, well, we could just be ballers in like Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, Anchorage. Imagine what we could get in Reno right now.
Why are you making that face, Memes? You don't want to live in Toledo?
Yeah, no.
The fuck? I got the fucking key to the city,
you
dude.
can do whatever you want.
We can do whatever we want.
Where do you think the worst place to live if you're like if you have $100 million in the bank would be? I think probably Long Island.
What's wrong with Long Island?
It's just you don't get 100. You can't get like a super nice house.
You're
in
not
Long
that
Island.
rich, too.
Yeah.
On Long Island.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Exactly, it's nice.
Right.
Some parts of Long Island are a dump.
Yeah. Coral Gables, you could probably get a much sicker house down there.
Yeah.
$100 million.
Yeah.
I just saw the house and I was like, what the fuck? This is like insane.
That's a house that was definitely built for a former Kansas City athlete.
Correct.
And they've been waiting
They
to
just
sell
traded
it
around. Yeah.
for another good athlete.
6 bed, 6 bath, 16,000 square feet.
16,000 square feet.
Tennis, pickleball, mini golf. That's sick.
We should go to Kansas City. We should just buy one house in Kansas City and ball out we'll go like once a year.
They got a great zoo. They got one of the best zoos in the country.
Also, our
And they've upgraded their airport. which we got to review at some point.
That's right. That one guy was like, "You got to go back to the Kansas City airport."
They're like, no, we fixed it.
It's
dude.
not that bad.
Our colleague Kelly Keegs blogged about how Travis plans to join Taylor to kick off her international tour next month.
All right.
Oh, where?
Buenos Aires?
I think Argentina.
Yeah.
Going,
I don't want to. I want to be very supportive of the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce relationship.
Yeah, we are.
I like it.
I love it.
I love her.
I love it. The Chiefs got to keep winning.
Because they're going to blame her?
Yeah. Like he's been everywhere. That's definitely a conversation. I don't think Travis Kelce is so good at football and he has got so many pelts on the wall that's like 2-time Super Bowl champion, all this stuff, that I don't think anyone's like doubting Travis Kelce's ability to play or desire to be involved, all that stuff. But it is a fact that if you win, you can do whatever you want. And if you lose, people will start being like, oh, you went to Saturday Night Live. Oh, you did this. That's just a fact. I don't think it's right because, again, I think Travis Kelce's so good, it doesn't matter. But it's a fact of how these things play out.
It's like no one cared when the Patriots are winning when Aaron Hernandez was killing people, but then they don't win the Super Bowl. And you're like, wait, lock this guy up. That
Hank?
sort of thing.
PFT's just taking side shots.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't know
that
Aaron
wasn't
Hernandez
directed.
killed people
That
while
wasn't
he was still
directed
playing.
at Hank.
Also,
Sultan Mesco kind of knew.
the Argentina,
yeah, that's true.
the Argentina portion of the tour is during the Chiefs' bye week, so you can't really shame him for that.
No, I get. I don't.
No, we can. We
a lot
can.
of
Look,
travel.
all right,
Yeah, we will.
I'll use
Supposed to be
this
for resting.
example. Brandon Marshall, when he was on the Bears, he started doing whatever it is, the inside the NFL.
Yeah.
He would fly to New York every Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
When the Bears were doing okay, it was fine. When the Bears started losing, everyone was like, "Why the fuck are you flying every week, dude?" That's just reality.
Or when Baker Mayfield did all the commercials.
Yeah.
And he had a good rookie
It's
year. And we're
not-
like, oh, this guy's different. And then he took a step backwards. And we're like, wait a second. Why is he so good at acting?
Right. I didn't think Brandon Marshall was like not putting the time in. It just when you do something else and you're not winning, the Chiefs are going to keep winning. So this is a moot point. I'm just saying that if they do lose a game or two, it will be brought up.
The real question is, will she come back to the United States if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl? Because she's in Tokyo the day before the Super Bowl and then Australia the week after.
Oh.
So that would be commitment.
Yeah, she would. She definitely would. To Vegas? Yeah.
she probably will
she'd
get
be
to
back.
fucking Super Bowl move to Tokyo.
She's got a private jet, Jake. She travels everywhere. She goes to the store
Yeah,
on
but
a
in
private
terms
jet.
of time, that's the day before. I guess you get all the time back because they're ahead, right?
Traveling
Yeah.
east.
It's
I don't-
basically free time.
I don't like that. She'd be traveling east at the last minute.
The poor ozone layer.
Yeah.
That's a real loser in this. Okay. Did you give us a nerd nugget?
Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen needs 81 scrimmage yards to reach 10,000 for his career. He would be the second fastest Charger ever to reach that mark behind LaDainian Tomlinson.
Ooh, okay.
Do you think that when Travis Kelce is watching film with Taylor, if she's like, who's that other tight end, Blake Bell? He blocks a lot harder than you do. Why don't you block that hard, babe? You should block more. Mm-hmm. I think she should probably start.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, someone just texted me Travis Bajan's number. Should we call him? Oh, shout out Shane. Thank you. Different Shane. Okay, last game. Dolphins-Eagles. I'm so excited for this game. So excited for
Yeah,
this game.
this is a
Who is Max more nervous about, Jake or Nikki Smokes? That is like the polar opposites of
Scared.
people that can piss you off while watching a game with them. It really is. They are hitting you with a 1-2 punch that has never been seen before.
The answer is Nikki Smokes.
Okay, I don't know.
It is.
I don't
because
know.
Jake will see that situation, and it's going to be two loud guys going at each other, and Jake, you're gonna like take a back seat. I know what you do in that. In those
I always
situations.
take it back.
We will
Yeah.
stream this for everyone who wants to watch it. So I agree with you. Nikki Smokes will be the more boisterous one, obviously, but Jake has a way, man. If he does a clap at the end, if he tries to shake your hand,
I have
he's
no
got a
idea what
way.
Nikki Smokes is going to do.
I
We have
know.
not seen him in this.
But
situation.
it's like
kinda
like the enemy you know versus the enemy. Like Jake, you don't know what Jake will do.
I disagree. I know
if the
Jake.
Dolphins win
Yeah,
to piss you off.
I'm with Max. I think you know Jake way more than Nick.
Jake will
Smokes
do
is just gonna be
something that
annoying.
like will piss me off. Like he'll do a little clap or like a yeah that will be annoying. But I've seen it before, and I can expect that.
You
I have
game plan for it.
I have no and I don't really know Nikki Smokes that
He
well.
might prank you. You might get smoked.
He's also like way. He just every time he sees me, he keeps telling me something about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna worry about that on Sunday. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win baseball games.
Yeah, you don't have the capacity to do both.
I can't. Well, hopefully the series is wrapped up by then.
You know what the worst would be if Jake beats you and then he takes a picture of the scoregami in front of the TV, like right in your face.
Oh my god,
That would be the worst.
And he's more excited about.
He makes
about
you
the
take
numbers.
the picture.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You should have to do that, Max.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, no, Max. If he beats you with the scoregami,
I mean,
you do.
Max wasn't mad the Eagles lost last week, so
That's
That's not
true.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
He
good.
can't.
That's
He
not
doesn't
true.
look bad.
That's not true.
Max,
at all.
real quick, what's the Eagles' injury situation?
It's looking good.
What, they got more injured?
All
Oh,
Baldy said that Lane Johnson's looking good. That got picked up all over NFL Twitter, or all over Eagles Twitter. Darius Slay said that he's gonna be back sooner than expected, than everyone thinks.
Did that get
which
picked
is
up?
weird because everyone thought he was coming back this week.
Did it get
Okay.
picked up by like Eagles Twitter or by like the anonymous verified aggregator accounts? You know the ones?
No, yes,
ML
no, but it was
Football,
like
JPA football, and NFL Rookie Watch. I think they're all the same guy.
no,
Yeah.
it was like
all Dove
Eagles
Kleiman.
Nation. That crazy guy that said that it's easier to hit a home run than it is to score a goal in the
Oh, yeah.
NHL.
I love that guy.
Yeah, that guy sucks. Yeah, but like all the Eagles beat reporters were like, according to that Lane Johnson's back. Lane Johnson's back.
I got some stats here for you, Jake. You like these. This is per Smart Football, Chris Brown. Not that Chris Brown. Good Chris Brown. He said the Dolphins are averaging 8 yards per play, 8.0 yards per play. Next closest team in the NFL is the 49ers. They average 6 yards per play. And then the last place team is the Giants with 4.1 yards per play.
I thought you were coming after Hank again.
No. This is just a Jake stat.
He didn't even know.
So that means that the gap between the Dolphins at number 1 and the 49ers at number 2 is bigger than the gap between the 49ers at number 2 and the worst team in the NFL.
love
That's
that.
how good your offense is.
The only
right
thing
now.
that concerns me with the Dolphins is the schedule.
You haven't beaten anybody.
It has
They've
been
beaten the worst
5
possible
teams in the league.
Well,
Yeah.
no, the Chargers aren't the worst.
Besides the Chargers.
Yeah, but
week 1 on the road.
Giants, the Patriots,
Panthers,
the
and
Panthers,
Broncos.
and the Broncos.
And then the one good team that got smoked.
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
road.
the Eagles are going to win this game. Also, we have to say, I've done the computer models, everything that I've put into the numbers, crunched them all. I think the Kelly Green jerseys are worth 7 points.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
7 points.
Um,
I saw the helmets.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
7 points.
how much did the Jets win? That's probably what it was. The Jets wore Kelly Green.
They did
Yeah.
wear Kelly Green.
I'm also
but that
fully
was the 7 points.
Yeah, true.
I'm also fully back on Julio Jones. I downplayed it when
Dream
we
team.
first, the way he was talking.
You sure you have the
he's
time
prime,
to do
He's
that?
prime Julio Jones.
You got a busy schedule.
No, I do. I have a busy schedule. It's
Right,
gonna-
but are you sure you have time to get back on Julio Jones?
what?
I'm saying you have a lot going on.
It's done. It's already in the past. I'm already back in.
Like, even the fact that you've taken this time to think about Julio Jones means you haven't been thinking about the Phillies.
I haven't even said Penn State, Ohio State Saturday.
Oh,
morning.
Oh,
man.
I forgot about that.
Jesus. Max, you have a massive weekend.
Yeah, I know. I'm a casual Penn State fan, but I'm still gonna root for them to win. Wake up early. Get fired up.
You're
you
and
just said prime Julio Jones though.
Yeah, no, that could have been an exaggeration, but he said he's gonna dominate. And if he says he's gonna dominate, then
Max, and correct me if I'm wrong, you are official stance. You're a Joe Pod didn't know guy. Oh, geez, I didn't know. No,
Are you
that
trying-
was a trick question, and you failed.
Are you trying to think of whether or not he did know, or are you
Wait.
trying
No,
to
he
think
knew.
of whether or not you need to
Okay.
come out against him knowing?
Max, that was
he
a
knew.
bad answer.
No, he know.
That was a bad
He's thinking to himself, he definitely knew, but how do I say that he didn't know?
Yeah.
No, he know.
Okay.
But you still support.
He knew.
Yeah. Okay. Because that was suspect.
Well, yeah.
Okay. I think the Eagles are going to win this game.
So I told Max when I came in, I think the Eagles are going to crush him.
What was
Whoever
that? What did
loses-
you just talk?
Nothing.
You
Nothing.
can't talk to me. We're doing a podcast. You said something to memes off mic. We're doing a podcast.
No.
What did you say?
Yes, we are.
Here we are.
Joe Pa knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's it.
Okay. What do you say to you, memes? Oh shit.
But what though?
Nothing.
But Sandusky also had a
No.
charity.
No.
And they
gave
won
a
a
lot of
lot of
money to
football
charity?
games.
No.
Won a lot of football games.
No.
What about the statue? Where are you at on the statue match?
Statues should stay down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually Jeff D. Lowe has taken it. It's going to be the dozen season 4 trophy.
Okay.
Jake,
Philadelphia is tied for the third highest primetime winning percentage since 2017, trailing only the Chiefs and the Ravens. The Eagles have won 6 of their last 7 primetime games. They're 2-0 this season.
I love that.
They
I
love
love
the
that
lights.
for you, Max.
I do think, the Dolphins are a really good team, but this is another step up in class, especially off of a loss for the Eagles. If Lane Johnson plays, I think the Eagles
The
win.
Dolphins heading into their bye the next 3 weeks. They're at the Eagles, home against the Patriots, and then neutral Germany against the Chiefs. If they get crushed by the Eagles and the Chiefs and beat the Patriots, they're going to be 7-2, but they're
going to be fraud alert.
Yeah.
We're going to have to put them on fraud alert.
This motherfucker
and then they have the
is not
Raiders,
real.
the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans. Like their schedule.
We might have to put them on fraud alert.
Yep. The best, actually, the
None of those
Eagles.
teams are good that you just said.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
saying.
just
Like
gonna rack
they
up
just have
bad
a very
wins.
easy schedule. They have to beat a good team for us to fully believe in my
And they've
opinion.
only, in honesty, they've only lost to one really good team.
Yeah, and they've
So, like,
blown
we
out all
should-
the other teams.
yeah,
so it's
we
been
should
good.
say that,
it's not
like,
their fault.
Yeah, but they do need to win one of these big games.
Who
I
have
think
the-
they have
who
to
have the
split
Eagles
with the
beaten,
Eagles
though,
and the
Max?
Chiefs, and I'll be comfortable.
Yeah.
You just said this to me before. You were like, the
Yeah.
Dolphins haven't
No,
beaten
I'm
anyone.
asking you a genuine question.
The best team that they beat is the Rams.
Yeah.
No, they beat the Rams good.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah,
Because-
that
yeah.
was a good win.
Yeah.
You licked them.
Yeah, you licked them.
and
You
the
licked the
Bucks,
Rams.
I guess, but I think the Rams are better than the Bucks.
I
I
was
do
just trying to
too.
get you to say the
Yeah.
Commanders was the best team.
Oh,
You won't
and the
say it.
Commanders. My
Yeah,
bad.
and you
Sorry.
won't say it. Thanks, Max.
Okay.
There was a great quote from George Mailata. They asked if you could do Freaky Friday and switch bodies with any Eagle, who it would be. And he thought about it for a second. And he goes, Nick Foles. Definitely Nick Foles.
Oh, love it.
Love it.
Okay. Let's do picks, and then we'll do fantasy fuckboys. Where are we at standings?
Well, we got to address something from last week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you messed up.
We had an error.
Who's we?
I'll take blame for it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that you should take blame for it.
Shut the fuck up, Max.
We have a rule where we're taking one side and one total, and PFT picked 2 sides and nobody, but mostly my fault. Acknowledge that on the spot. However, he did lose that Patriots pick.
Oh, you took the
He took the Patriots, so it kind of worked out
Well,
with that safety.
yeah, but
No,
you
so
took-
what happened
You
was
took the over though, right?
Jake told me and the group chat, or maybe it was Max that highlighted it. I forget who sent it to the group chat.
I think it was me.
Hey, you're only supposed to take one side and then you have to do one total. So I said, okay, let me take the Patriots Raiders over. And then
Under.
oh yeah, I wanted the under. And then you guys replied with, no, you have to take the over because you didn't get the pick incorrecly, which was fair. So I'll wear that
Well,
loss.
either way, it's a loss. Yeah.
All right, so give us the standings.
Okay, so in the warm-up category, I'm 8-3-1. Max is 7-5, and Memes is 4-8.
Ooh.
So we're already seeing some separation.
Ooh.
There's a
3-1 is really good.
Yeah, I'm 8-3-1. It's pretty sick. In the main event, Big Cat 7-3-2, PFT 7-5, Hank 5-6-1.
Hank.
It's been a bad year.
Yeah. Bad. Ice cold.
Also,
Bad. How many times are you gonna say bad?
It's bad.
well, Hank has not been bad in the Pancakes Only League.
Oh,
He has 3 of the top 4 guys in the league.
there you go,
With
Hank.
31 pancakes.
You know, ball.
And Hank, you said that though you don't mind doing an hour stand-up set. You just don't want to eat pancakes.
Yeah, exactly.
31 for Hank, 22 for Max, 20 for Big Cat, 15 for Memes, 13 for PFT, and 10 for me.
Ooh.
So I'm in line to eat
Oh,
24
Jake is gonna be
pancakes.
miserable eating pancakes.
I did 19 dogs in 8 hours.
Yeah,
I feel
that's true.
I
You
feel
are-
like it's not
yeah.
as bad.
You
this
have
is
street
not
cred.
as bad.
You have street cred.
And I tweeted at Taylor Decker because he's in AWL. I said, you got to start pancake.
And
gang."
he replied.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
I
was
didn't
like,
see it.
He was like, yeah. He's like, I'm on it.
Let's go.
Noted.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I might be back.
Yeah. Okay. Who's goes first? Hank.
Okay. Thank
And
you,
then who?
guys.
Then you, Big Cat.
Then me.
We go around the
Oh, yeah. Noted and underlined twice.
Okay.
from Taylor
There
Decker.
you go. All right, Hank, go. Hank.
Bills minus 8.5.
Ooh.
Against the Patriots.
What a jerk
Will
you
not be
are.
watching. It's gonna be a blowout.
Okay, I will take the Chargers plus 5.5.
Against the Chiefs.
Oh, you wanted that?
There's 1 or 2.
Oh, you couldn't have picked that one.
No,
You
I
didn't
know
that's
that was
PFT,
that.
yeah.
I
yeah.
know.
You were go.
I know how it works.
So if I win and you lose, you're gonna be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, those are the only 2 I wrote down for
Yeah.
spreads.
You thought
Okay.
I was going to take the Bills?
No,
No, I was choosing between the 2, and
he didn't go Chargers. All right, memes.
Eagles minus 2.5.
Like it. games besides the Eagles?
That was the only one. That was the only one that was in my head. Lions, Ravens over.
Okay.
That was my total.
43 and a half.
Okay. Jake.
I'm going to go with Chargers Chiefs over 48 and a half.
Okay.
Okay.
So I get 2.
Yes.
I'm going to go Chargers Chiefs under 48 and a half. And then I'm going to go with the Niners on the road at the Vikings Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins in primetime. I'm taking the Niners minus 6.5 on the road in Minnesota.
Okay.
All right, so you took a spread and a total.
I did.
Good job, PFT.
Thank you.
I'm going to take the Steelers +3 on the road against the Rams. Mike Tomlin.
Like it. Okay. Max.
Means really fuck me here. I'll go Bucks minus 2.5 against.
How could he
the
do that?
Falcons.
He knows I'm an Eagles fan.
You should have taken. I know the Jets are off.
Raiders, Bears over 37.5.
Ugh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do I'll do Monday Night Football over 43.5.
I like that too.
Vikings, Niners.
I will do Steelers Rams under 43.5.
Ooh, good pick.
Defensive struggle.
Good pick. You're back.
Probably not.
Okay. All right. Fantasy Fuccbois.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yo,
boom,
yo,
boom,
yo,
boom,
yo,
boom,
hey, yo.
boom,
Jaeger
boom,
bombs.
Boom, boom.
My name is Santino Saltiamacchia.
Hey, Saltamakias.
Saltino.
Don't be so salty.
My stardom, sketches.
Oh, it's the S.
Sketches are no longer sketchy. They're signing big-name basketball players, Julius Randle, Joel Embiid. They're trying to make a mark in the NBA footwear game.
Wow, those are 2 NBA champions.
My sleeper, speaking of NBA champions, it's James Harden.
Oh, I had him on my stardom.
He's nowhere to be found. He's in strip clubs in Houston. The team's in Philly. He doesn't give a fuck. That franchise is a joke.
The beard.
And my sleeper
Oh.
is Devontae Adams.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
He's been a diva. He's demanded the rock. If you can pick him up, he's probably on the waiver wire in all your leagues. Pick him up this week. He's going to go off.
Let him out of the
Love
cage
it.
to eat.
Love it.
Hey, what's up, dick faces? It's me, Buzz Flaviano. I'm starting this week. I'm starting Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh and his surveillance network that he's got cooking up there at Michigan. They got credible evidence, the Big Ten says, that he's spying, stealing signs, stealing passwords, stealing everything, stealing your girl. He'll take whatever you give him, and he's taking it. He's a great coach.
Sickening behavior.
Great coach. I'm sitting the Astros because they're a bunch of fucking cheaters. People forget that.
Yep.
Facts.
And then my sleeper is Hunter Renfrow. We talked about Hunter Renfrow earlier this week. They might have to trade him soon. He might get a few catches if they got a competent front office in Las Vegas. Feed him the ball, up his trade value, or else you're fucked.
Oh, what's up, guys? It's Salvatore Buca de Beppo.
Sally B.
You
My
love pasta.
I love pasta. My starter is James Harden. I'm actually starting him. Let him live his best life. He's in there. He's grinding. He's got his dick in some buttholes. He's at the strip clubs. Who cares about basketball?
Get him on a team with John Morant. Let the boys cook.
Let him go. My sit-em is Russell Wilson. We already talked about him, but did you know Russell Wilson and Drew Lock basically have the same exact numbers as Broncos starting quarterbacks? They should never have gotten rid of Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. Something about that kid. I can't put my finger on him, but I like him.
I like him. My sleeper is Bryant head coach Jared Grosso.
Oh, Grosso, fuck boy.
The body cam came out and he said to the cop, "You want to shoot some jumpers?" He literally said that. He said, "Want to shoot some jumpers?"
What's wrong with that?
Because,
Yeah.
I do happen to coach the basketball team.
He even
How about that?
He said, "Do you think I play ball?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, you're the coach." It was an all-time clip. All-time clip. Oh, no, play it. Ready? Listen to this. He is a fantasy fuck boy.
There's other people who should be nervous, not you.
I'm not nervous.
I'm not either. You want to shoot jumpers?
No.
You play ball?
No. Nope.
You think I do?
Yeah, clearly you do. You're the coach.
Yeah. So give me what you need to get.
All right.
That was such a. Do you know who I am?
Do you think I play ball?
You think I play ball?
Look at me. You think I play ball?
You think I play ball?
Do I look like a baller?
All right, let's get to our interview with Will Compton.
Ew, so we already taped it. This interview sucks.
Will just walked in the room. We have not taped yet. Let's do a couple ads and then we'll get to Will.
Before we get to Will the Thrill Compton, he's brought to you by our good friends over at Chevy. There's a new family with the unstoppable grit, and they are the official partners of the Part of My Take family. That's the Chevy Silverado ZR2 family. That's right. The first ever Silverado heavy-duty ZR2 joins the franchise to make Chevy ZR2 the only truck brand with a full lineup of trucks ready for wherever your off-road adventures take you. I am now an official member of the Chevy family. Bought a Chevy a couple days ago. Absolutely love it. It's a great car. I'm sure you'll love it too. The ZR2 has exclusive Multimatic DSS V dampers, rugged mud terrain tires, and up to 14 available camera views. The Chevy Silverado ZR2 and the Silverado HD ZR2, a family with commanding and unstoppable grit. Head to Chevy.com, check out Chevy Silverado and the family of Chevy ZR2s, the official trucks of Pardon My Take.
Okay, we now welcome on our good friend, colleague, friend. I was gonna say. You know what I was gonna say?
What were you gonna say?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Was it gonna like set like a bad tone?
I was gonna say cover band. I'm not gonna say it. Will Compton, he's our good friend. I love Willie C. He's here in the last. Yeah, you'll be the last guest in the old Pardon My Take temporary office that we're in right now.
Part of history.
Yeah, you're part of history. We're closing it out with you. We just want to talk some ball. Want to talk ball with the boy.
Let's talk ball.
Okay.
By the way, can we talk about the cover band stuff?
No, that was a joke.
I know, but
I'm in a cover band. Cover bands rock.
Yeah.
No, I know you guys rip. By the way, yeah, you guys, yeah.
You're a good singer too, Will.
Thank you. I do try. Shout out to the dude in the front that was like trying to feed me lyrics the whole time. How was Knoxville?
Knoxville is always great.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite.
The Hill
cities.
is a good spot.
It is. It was a shit show.
But if it,
Yeah.
if you don't want to,
No, we can.
yeah, I was just gonna say like, you guys with the jokes, the cover band, the Bus with the Boys, Part of My Take 2.0. There's no recreating successful blueprints out there all the time. Like there's no like original thought. I very much give flowers to you guys for not like, they're not like, I don't like see something of yours and think, oh, we got to do this as an idea. But subconsciously, if something's like implanted in my brain, like when it comes back around, somebody's like, oh, Part of My Take did this. Sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I mean, I didn't even know that they had done it in the
that's
past.
parallel thought is very much thing. And also, I want to clear, the only reason I joke about it is it doesn't, like, I don't actually think
No,
it's true.
I know.
I
but
wouldn't, if it was true, I would be like motherfucking you. Behind the scenes, I wouldn't joke about it to your face.
But you guys got a strong fan base. I see the AWLs, but I do want to like I'm saying it in like a positive light. Like yeah, you guys are like the standard for doing stuff.
The way me and PFT met was people would accuse us of stealing each other's tweets. It's parallel thought.
Like his blogs and
and PFT?
His blogs and my blogs would have like similar jokes in them.
And then like takes.
People would tag us in each other's shit. And then we were like, I don't think either one of us was like, fuck this guy. We were both like, well, this guy's probably got a good sense of humor.
Right.
We should be
So I
friends.
never,
with these guys.
parallel thought. It's the internet.
It's the internet. You
when
never
you make
beat the
jokes
internet.
all day, some jokes will be the same.
Yeah, like when Jake gets he got arrested last week for cocaine possession, and what we did earlier on today's show was he started reading a statement, and then he tore up the statement. And he said, "No, I'm just going to speak from my heart about my drug accusation,"
emotional.
and that was like a tip of the hat to Taylor, you know. So we can steal from each other a little bit. It's all good.
Yeah, you guys stay on it though. Like, you had the. I remember when it happened. Like when I saw that you were doing the Taylor Swift thing, I was like,
I
God
had
damn
to call
it.
a timeout. For you,
I was like,
Will,
I
I was joking.
was like, ours is gonna come out tomorrow.
Why didn't you cover the whole wanting a sex tape? That would have been nice.
I
If you
did.
if you backed me up. there.
I saw that. I did kind of keep my hands off that. I was like, oh shit! But I was telling BC by the time I saw it, there was like 32 million views.
Yeah, like
on that video, and I was like, oh no, the boys are in the trenches.
Numbers are numbers, baby. Like
No doubt.
Listen.
I'm like seeing people like I was telling BC like somebody was like I felt like subtweeting me saying, you know, any colleague or even athletes in the field.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what the tweet exactly was, but I felt like it was directed solely at me.
Yeah, they tried
like
to go
not
for-
speaking up, and I'm just thinking like
They try to go for anyone who's friends with us.
Right.
They're like, you can't even look at these guys.
oh, you're friends with them
Yeah.
still?
The worst.
With this?
The worst. But yeah, that was fun.
So would you watch the video or not?
With the sex tape?
Yeah.
Would I watch the
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
I'd take a peek.
Yeah, you'd have to.
I
if
wouldn't.
one was out there and it was like this link happened, it's like
Well,
Yeah, I
and it's
won't go.
research. It's listen. We live on the internet.
Yeah,
You
we
gotta-
live on the
you gotta
internet.
talk
If a
about
link
it.
comes across your face and
Yeah.
names pop up that you're like, oh, let's see what's up here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Will Compton officially would watch a sex tape without permission.
Um,
Got it.
all right, so
Got
Will,
it.
let's talk some ball. We can start NFL and then maybe we'll talk some college.
Okay.
You had a take to start the season that the Chiefs would start 1-4.
I did.
Where are we at with that take now?
Bad take.
I like that.
Sometimes you
Bad
swing,
takes, you gotta
sometimes you
just say,
miss.
hey, bad
Yeah.
take.
Yeah, it's a bad take. Like, I don't know. I thought this was a year. Listen, I do have a little bias with the Raiders. I thought this year they could do some. Chargers, they've spent the most money on defense of like any team, and I thought they could be actually a player this year.
Right.
And I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I thought based off their first five, I was like Jacksonville could sneak them. Like they could low key get behind the 8 ball. Lose to the Lions, they lost. I'm like, hey, this might.
Yeah, you were
This might be
feeling
for real,
yourself
yeah.
after that. Yeah.
You gotta
I
you
was
gotta figure
wrong.
out a way to spin zone your way out of that though. You can't admit that you're wrong about a take. You just have to be like, no, I was right, but there was a material change that happened. You didn't predict Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
If you had known that, you might have switched the whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
around.
yeah,
You also
yeah.
probably didn't predict their defense being as good as it is this year.
That's
And-
a fair point.
And you could just wait, and if they don't win the Super Bowl, you can just be like, told you.
Yeah, tried telling you guys.
Yeah,
Because I do. I want to. Next year I'll do it again. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
2024, they're not
you
making the
fell
playoffs.
for the trap that like half the media falls for in like August when it's like we've talked about every preseason thing. We just want the games to get here. What's something I can say that's different? Chiefs don't win the West.
yeah, Chiefs ain't winning it this year. It's over.
We had to set ourselves a reminder. Jake told us in July to just say on the podcast, Chiefs are going to win the West. Because we're like, we just got to say it and then just get it over with.
I actually
get
do
it.
think if they win this weekend, if they beat the Chargers, we should just declare the Chiefs AFC West champions.
They are.
Right
They
now.
are.
Yeah,
already
they
are.
probably
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
What's been your guys' worst take of the year? So
We
far?
don't have any bad takes. I think all our takes have been pretty spot on.
This year's nothing. I mean, I thought the Bears were going to be good.
I said Commanders. I said Commanders Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought the Super Bowl was a possibility after I think week 3.
I said
very wrong. Very
last
wrong about
year
that.
in the playoffs, I said Asante Samuel Jr. sucks, and then he had the 3 picks against the, the Jaguars.
Commanders, they're not like. I mean, they're not out of it.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not going to win a Super Bowl this year though.
No, probably not.
I let my thoughts just run a little bit too wide.
I know, and I let a couple of guys on the inside like get me way higher on Sam Howell than I.
He's good though. Do you agree? Sam Howell's
he
a good
is
quarterback.
good. He is good.
Do you still talk to a bunch of guys you play with, and is it weird, like them talking to you, knowing that you're in the media now?
Some guys give me shit about it, but in Washington, not really. There's like one person in particular I talk to, and if I said anything about it, everybody would know exactly who it is. And
Current player?
Do what?
A current player?
I can't tell you.
Could be someone in the. Well, no, they got rid of him.
But player wise, guys will like give me shit and poke at me. But it's like, what do you like, fellas? If you, yes, I know I'm out on doing all the antics on social media all the time, so I do get it. But if you're like, if you tell me something, and I'm thinking like, okay, this is something I definitely shouldn't share. Like, I'm not going to share it.
Right. What about? Do you miss it?
I mean, not like
Year 11.
There are whispers. People try to get me up off the seat, but not like, I don't miss all the physical. Like I watch the game and I'm like, I don't know how I could even wrap my mind around doing this right now.
Right.
Like sometimes I'm just like, yo, how did this even happen? But I miss like, I don't know. I'll see Coach Rule speeches. I'll get a little juiced up. I see any type of football stuff, and it's like a feel-good story, and it's like those are the things where you just get like pumped for somebody's success when they've been like, whether it's an underdog or they overcame something, and you're just like, man, that's just what it's about.
Right.
And you kind of miss those moments.
Right.
I got a serious football question for you because you wore the green dot, right?
Yeah.
You were a green dot guy.
Green dot
You
guy.
wore the green
I was a
dot?
green
yeah,
dot
can you
guy.
believe that?
How many people got hurt?
Will Compton was the smartest guy on the
Enough,
football field.
enough people.
You're talking to Captain Will Compton right now.
Eventually.
Eventual
I got
I
captain.
there.
believe
I got
that
there
you're the
eventually.
ultimate locker room guy.
So, but
That's a
when
fact.
you're wearing the green dot on defense, what is like? How long is a standard play call that you then have to relay? Because we always hear the transmission when it's like the offensive coordinator talking to the quarterback.
Not defense. You might get a double call on defense, say like you say the front, and then if it's a coverage, it's like, to simplify it, like over 63. So you'll play 6 to the passing strength and like 3 away, or over, you'll double call based on formation. So if it's like 3-by-1, you'll be in cover 4. If you're in 2-by-2, you could be in cover 3. But we don't have like long exotic calls like an offense does. And if it's a blitz, you're saying the front, you're saying the blitz, and you're saying the coverage on the back end.
Yeah. Did you then after that have to like look around at everybody on defense and like grab people? Was that your responsibility?
Oh, I love that when they push guys over.
Yeah. But in practice, what we would do, because sometimes, especially if it's like a loud stadium and it's hard to communicate, like I would put it on a defensive lineman to hear the front call. I would make sure the backer next to me knew to echo it to the DBs, because the DBs are always the fucking slowest to listen and they never want to fully get in the huddle. And then whoever's like the guy in the secondary is like right there in the huddle, so he can carry off the coverage and echo. And then to me, I'm thinking like, you guys have to echo it, because there's only so much gas in the tank at all times on the field.
So what do they do before the green dot?
Hand signals. Hand signals. Nebraska, it'd be like, if we're playing cover 4 Miami, it'd be Miami, like waves. Even double bracket. And then you would just know strong storm roll. Strong storm roll, and you would just know it's strong storm roll 2 coverage.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole level to the game that I don't think you don't pick up watching on TV unless you've actually been in that helmet and you hear the play.
Did you see all the guys on the sidelines too? Some are dummy calls.
The fake ones.
The fake ones.
I'd be really good at that
I
one.
would I'll only see the dummy calls and be like, fuck, I can't remember
Just
which
grab
one's
my
dummy.
dick.
What you said, gas in the tank. I love asking this about guys who played. At what point in a drive are you like, fuck this? How many plays?
If they convert a first down, I'm like,
only one?
If it's the first play, you're like, okay, reset. Hey, a new 3-and-out opportunity here, boys. But when they convert a third down, it's just, God, it bums you out, especially when it's like 3rd or 6 plus.
Right.
If it's 3rd or 6 plus and they convert it, it just takes the wind out of your sail. As far as gas tank goes, is if it's like once it gets over 8 plays.
Yeah, you're
8
like,
plays,
this
you're
fucking
puffing. That's where
sucks.
it's like when they're relaying it, it's like, hey, you guys have to be tight so that way we can echo. Because a middle backer who's like going around to everybody, you just get worn out by it.
Are you ever in a situation where you had to let the other team score?
I don't think so.
Will did have 3 interceptions.
So all the times you got ran over, that was on purpose, is what you're saying?
Every time what?
You got ran over, that was intentional? Or not?
You
You
know
were
what's
actually
funny?
trying?
Who's the big white running back for the Packers?
John Kuhn?
Was he?
Was
Ripkowski?
a fullback, yeah.
Ripkowski.
Who?
Aaron Ripkowski.
Yeah, Rip. What was he, like 22 or something like that? Number 20 something?
Probably, yeah.
But anyway, he when I first got to the Raiders and John Gruden was like introducing me to the team, he pulled up like my highlight tape. And it was basically like me making plays, but the lowlights of them, and Rip like ran me the fuck over.
Yeah.
One play, tackled him, but literally back on the ground runs me over for like 2-yard gain. So
All right, so you did your job.
yeah, I did my job.
And if
Can't
that-
get a first down if you average 2
Yeah,
yards.
can't
If
get
that
the first
happens, are you thinking like the second you're on the ground, like that's going to look so bad on television?
I think in my head this is going to look bad on television, but I make sure to let him know, like, hey, that's still a tackle.
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
I got
good hit. That's still a stat. That's still a stat in my book.
Yeah, right. I got the stat. there.
Yeah.
Not you.
Because you got to win every chance you get. You know, you got to take those wins.
Yeah.
every win.
What? All right. So, what team do you have right now that's surprising you?
Surprising,
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, they look good, or maybe it's like coach
Dude,
that you want to play for.
I know we've talked about it on Pro Football Show, but the Lions.
Yeah,
The Lions, I feel like Dan had a speech a couple weeks ago talking about like if this is going to be a real contender team. Clearly, that's been a speech that stuck with me because I've brought it up probably any conversation Big Cat and I are in. And
against the Panthers.
yeah, he's like, if they're going to be a real contender this year, like these are the games you take care of. Because to Taylor's point earlier, there are times where you're like winning and you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden you play down to the level of competition that you play. And the Lions just taking care of business every week, keeping the Bucs out of the end zone last week. I feel like the Lions are like, it's like the new Lions brand that everybody's talking about. The new Lions.
Yeah.
team.
How
I feel like
bad?
they've been
How
really
bad
good.
do you wish you could have played for Dan Campbell?
Bad.
He's got to be
bad.
like the ultimate. Anyone who's retired, like, damn, I'd die for that guy.
Yeah, because now, like being on this side, you watch the Hard Knocks, like the ones with the Jets this year, and you see Coach Saleh, and you see all of those speeches and listen to the camaraderie going on with those guys, and you're like, man. And when you saw Aaron go down, and you're just like, oh, you're just like bummed because you saw how close everybody was getting during the Hard Knocks. Those are the times where you actually like miss and reminisce on like those dog days in the hotels that you're just in the suck with the boys in training camp.
Is it one of those things where it sucks at the time?
Yes.
And then the farther you get away from it, you're like, man, that was awesome when everything was
bro.
terrible.
I like I can show you videos after we get off here, but I still like the other week I was watching old videos of training camp, like when guys are doing the talent show, and not even that, but sitting out when we're all having coffee before a special teams meeting, and one of the old linemen sitting there playing his guitar and like singing music, singing like Sam Smith and like doing really well, and you're just like, man, we were in some like really good times that you just miss.
You do a pretty good Vrabel impression too, don't you?
I dabble in the Vrabel.
Can you break it out? Like right now,
It'd be hard, bro.
Give the Titans a speech right now because they refuse to admit that time zones exist. So they went over to England, got their ass kicked, and then they come back. They got the Texans next week, I believe.
Yeah.
Or the Falcons. Might be the Falcons. I think they're wearing their throwback Oilers helmets next week when they get back. So can you juice the boys up as Vrabel?
Vrabel, man, I tell you what. Midseason, the boys down 2-4 into the bye week is not a fun Vrabel you want to necessarily be around all the time. But if I had to think of the things he's saying, it would be like, I hope you guys are reading what's out in the media. We suck. Jeff doesn't want to play. Derek wants to get traded. Ryan Tannehill's quitting on the team. Wear black this weekend, boys. Everybody thinks we're dying against the Texans. We're dead right now. Wear black because it's a funeral game, and he's just giving you all the juice and the motivation to be like, literally everybody's counting you out. You guys are all here, and hey, what round were you drafted? And you're like, undrafted. Yeah, nobody wanted you. What round were you? 6th round. Nobody wanted you. Second round, 32 teams passed up on you. Thankfully, we negotiated your contract and got you here. We're the only ones that want you right now. It's stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so in your career, you can maybe speak to this because this is we're mid-October, week 7. At what point does the air come out of the room? What record? Where you're like, oh, because I would assume in September you're still riding high from camp. You're like, all right, we can write this. Oh, we're 1-2, we're 1-3. We can write this. At what point you're like, oh no, we suck?
Honestly, maybe we're the boys in two-tone blue are at right now.
Really?
There's a lot of different dynamics, right? Like you could be 2-4, but maybe the division's kind of like, the teams are ahead of you are 3-3 or 4-2, and they're not like a solid 4-2. Similar, like the Bucks are 3-2, but if you're, what are the Saints right now?
Saints are 2-3 or 3-3.
Yeah, it's like you still have time there. Like I know the year we went to the playoffs, that you like that year where we, the whole stipulation was when we were down. What was our record then when we won that Tampa Bay
the Bucks game?
Similar, right?
It was similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, it was like similar to that. And then you start stacking. You get one win, then you drop another. You get one win, you drop another. And then the media is like, you guys are playing. You just know you play well one game and then make some mistakes in the second game. Like you just got to get 2 wins. Then when you finally get 2 wins, there's like a new life that comes about. Right. So it's like a long year. I feel like it depends on how other teams in your division look.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like if you're like the Jets, that to me, that's another surprising team that's playing well.
Yep.
Based on how they started, you would think like they're dead, right?
Yeah.
But the last 2 weeks they put together, you can now build some momentum on that. Even though you have the Bills and Miami in your division, it's kind of like, hey, just keep fucking playing. Like all we gotta do is win one game at a time. Just all we have this week. Who did the Jets play this week?
They're bye.
Nobody.
A bye. But coming back from the bye, it's like, hey, let's just focus on this one game this week, win one game. That's all we have to do.
Win your division games.
Yes.
Yeah, like beat the Dolphins when you play them.
When you play a division game, it's, hey, this game's 1.5. Like just focus on what's in front of us this week. And the good coaches who can kind of like, not brainwash, but like kind of frame that type of thinking. And if you have the right amount of vets in the room, you can always like reignite a fire. I mean, the Titans were 2-4 before they went on that run to the NFC Championship.
All right, so off that, what was the worst team you were on? Like, what was the record?
Probably, it had to have been the first year. Yeah, first year on Washington. I think we went 3-13. London Fletcher's last year.
All right, so 3-13 at the end of the season are like we always obviously believe like you can't tank in the NFL because everyone's playing for a contract. But is there like when you get to that point of the season, like December, and you're 3-13, are you like are the guys, individual guys, still like fired up, or is like what does the locker room look like?
It changes from playing on the front of your jersey to playing for the name on the back of your jersey.
Right.
And not like a selfish, I don't give a shit if you fail type of mentality, but like a guy in my situation coming up before the captain and being a starter. But it doesn't matter what our record is. I'm literally thinking like I have to get better at all times, or
Right.
these coaches are going to think like I'm replaceable. So there's some guys who are thinking like they might pack it in and quit if they're like a star on the team or a good player. They know they're going to be back next year. They kind of don't give a shit because they just don't have, they're just not really worried about like losing their job. But then you got guys who are really like, they don't give a shit if the front office like, hey, they think we're taking, and I'm just
Right.
thinking like, yo, I'm trying to work my tail off to try and get back next year.
It always just like when we get to like week 17 and 18 and you're watching and you see like starters, you're like, I would just be like, yo, hey, let's take it easy. Like if I have a job next year, like, come on.
It's like
No
when you're
doubt.
playing-
It's not you're crazy.
And that happens. And it kind of depends on the head coach. Like if a head coach, you feel like he's on the hot seat and everything else, and you kind of just know he's probably going to be gone. Like his messaging is, hey, let's enjoy these last couple weeks together. You're like, okay, you know what's happening here. Like if we don't win, we're all going to lose our jobs because they're going to bring in a new head coach. They're going to bring in a new staff. And a lot of you guys that I brought in are going to be gone as well.
Right.
Unless you do something late in the year.
Like when you're playing pickup basketball and you're like, hey, just us have an agreement on the side. I'm not going to try that hard on offense. You don't try that hard to defend me. I'm just going
Right.
to shoot it if I get it. Right?
Yeah.
We're not here to impress
Gentleman's
anybody.
agreement.
We're going to get back to Will Compton in a second. He's brought to you by Viator. That's right. Viator is the place to go and book memorable travel experiences. I've been traveling a lot recently. Stayed in a great hotel in New York. Went over to Ireland and played some golf over there. Got some local knowledge on my trip to Ireland from my good friends at Viator. When we were here in Chicago, when we moved, Hank and I took a nice little riverboat cruise. It was wonderful. We went on Lake Michigan too. Viator will hook it up. They're a website and app where you can book travel experiences across the country and internationally. They offer everything from simple tours to extreme adventures with over 300,000 bookable experiences in 190 countries. There's something for everyone. Plus, Viator's travel experiences have millions of real traveler reviews, so you have the information that you need to book the best activities for your trip. Download the Viator app now. Use code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking in the app. One app, over 300,000 travel experiences that you're going to remember. Do more with Viator. And now here's more Will Compton. What about players only meetings? Did you ever take part in a players only meeting?
Yeah, there's one that's actually sticking out during that 3-13 year because there's a lot of like internal, like that's when Shanahan and them got fired, I believe.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of that internal conflict that kind of happens. Like everybody starts covering their own ass. Like coaches, they're coaching for themselves. Like everyone's trying to do the finger pointing game. And I remember London Fletcher, like one of the coaches wanted him to give a speech and wake everybody up type of thing. And London went up there and started to go in on even the coaching staff for wanting it. Y'all wanted me to give a fucking speech? Like, and we're trying to coach and people got their phones out. We got coaches in the back that got their fucking phones out. I don't give a shit what you're doing. Like, he's saying like, this is my last year. I don't give a shit what you write on your notebook. Draw my fucking face if you have to. And he's like, you know, he's like, linebacker set the tone, linebacker set the tempo. And his eyes are just glaring. He's like staring at each dude in the room to where you're like, okay, this is like a true, you know, like, linebacker, leader, captain, London Fletcher. This is all of it. Kind of like probably I would assume, you know, if Ray Lewis was in your face yelling at you.
Right.
But talking about, I don't, you know, draw the motherfucker if you have to. Fake it. Like, I don't care if you're not doing anything and you're bored. You pull your phone out again, basically, he's going to fight you. Like,
I like that.
that was a time where you're just thinking, oh, get right. But some happen, but usually it's the night before a game.
Yeah.
Like the guys will be like, hey, you know, I remember Deshaun Golston. He's the best too. But Sean Golston, he's like low talking. He's like, hey, coach, y'all get out of here. Y'all get out of here. And then coach kind of look at you, kind of like looking around, smiling with the boys, like, what's D Gold about to say? And then he just talk about like unity and like a man of a few words, but just say enough to where you're like, yeah, we'll get behind each other. Some guys stand up and say something out of nowhere, and you're like, hey, this is not the right moment. For you to stand up and say something. But those players only ones happen. I would say they hit about 35-40% of the time.
Yeah, 'cause we were busting Max's balls because the Eagles had one the other day, and we're like, you can't burn these. Like you can't just do it every week.
Yeah, you really can't. And you need somebody who's actually like kind of moving you like when they're speaking. Like you're just thinking like it really means a lot to this motherfucker, and he's actually speaking to it. He's kind of calling some of our own bullshit out.
Right.
And you're kind of like, yeah, this dude's right. But if you get somebody who's kind of like, you know, kind of feeling their way through it, kind of talking, not really making a whole lot of eye contact, kind of just saying stuff. You're just like
a
all right,
bad best man speech.
Yeah, you're like, man, you're like, all right, bro, just get like this is fucking, this is force. Coach told you to do this.
Right.
But I think there's definitely some truth to that. If like the Eagles are really fucking good, they had an unfortunate loss that, you know, came down to the end of that game. doing a players only meeting that early on in the season feels like they're pressing the panic button.
Wait, they did?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, according to Max, it was a zero coaches meeting.
It was a little bit. It was after the game. I think it was in the locker room, and instead of Sirianni talking to the team, the players talked to the team. Kind of a players only. Only the players talked.
That is like tough. Just because I think like ultimately Jalen threw 3 picks, that's just there was a bad game right there that they could have probably, they had some mistakes and stuff like that. But they're gonna bounce back. What I like about the Eagles is they're not like when Dallas is up, right? Dallas, you hear them being up. Like you got Parsons doing his thing, but when the Eagles are up, they talk about it like how long of a season it is, and they can never get too high. Like they try and stay steady. So I would assume that a vet felt some type of way, or some guys felt some type of way to just wake the fuck up. And I think that the way the Eagles are like a player-led team has been so beneficial. And I think it allows like Jalen Hurts to kind of come into his own like leadership role himself because he's got Lane, he's got Jason who's been steady, Brandon Graham. Is Fletcher Cox still there?
Yeah.
You got all these guys who have been staples that they've been able to create this culture. And Sirianni, you can tell he's like a player type coach. And then they have enough, a couple divas here and there that they all gel really well because they have such stable veteran leadership. So maybe somebody felt like, hey, there were some plays in this game that legitimately we should not have fucked up.
Yeah.
And reset. Like this is not who we are. We're gonna go home next week and take care of business.
I want to go back to something you said because I'm always curious to this. I think that if I were in a locker room, I would definitely fuck up and be the guy who makes a joke when you're not supposed to.
No doubt.
I think you might have been that guy. Were there moments where you made a joke or tried to give a speech and you're like, whoops, that was a mistake?
Not speeches. I felt like anytime I did the speech thing, number one, I'd be in my own head, but it'd be a very planned out thing. And some guys would be like, yo, Will, you have to say something type thing. And you get nervous to do it. But, there's been a couple in more so meeting rooms, not out in a team environment. Usually if you hit a fart or something in the middle of a team meeting, those usually land.
You're right.
They're a well-placed fart.
Right.
But there'll be some in whether it's a linebacker meeting or a defensive meeting to where I'm doing a joke thing and the coordinator's like, hey, we'll, all right, come on. We got to.
Oh, that's got to feel so bad.
Yeah.
You're back to elementary school and you're oh shit.
But
it's
because it's we would be, if we're sitting in a row and me and Trent Murphy, we would always whenever you get a beat on what how they are daily, whether it's certain words they're saying, analogies they're always using or something, just because you can only say so much all the time. We would just draw things or write little quotes and make each other laugh to be, hey, what's so funny? Oh, nothing.
Yeah, that would happen to me all the time.
Would they break you guys up in school when you're okay, you two can't sit together? I can't trust you.
Yeah, sometimes.
Would they make you guys sit
do
opposite
that.
sides?
Yeah, me and Trent Murphy would be like, hey, you guys need to you guys just need to sit away from each other. Will, you got to focus up. Oh. When I was young, though, I never did it. I got caught dozing off one time and because I was on practice squad. So they were watching me and Coach Hasler, Jim Hasler was our D coordinator at the time. And we're watching tape where the linebackers need to be in there to see all the motions and everything going on. But again, I'm on P squad. I'm just in there. And I started dozing off and I got my ass jumped for that one. And that was
man.
That was you feel, they even joked on me and said, hey, this is going to be a $10,000 fine. And then I'm thinking yo, they had to ultimately tell me it was a joke because I was so in a blender, felt, I mean, it just makes you feel so shitty.
Right. You agree though, I would fuck that up.
Yeah,
I would definitely.
But I would be next to you and laughing, and afterwards I'd be like, God, why am I sitting next to him?
I just always think I do actually think I'd be a good locker room guy, but I also would be fuck with a guy who doesn't want to be fucked with, and then be pissed.
I think in baseball, I think you'd be a great clubhouse guy.
Yeah. But I'd fuck with the starter, and they would be like, "That's not funny," and I'd be like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
BC's a guy you want to go sit with in the cafeteria, be around during all of training camp because he's saying jokes about the suck that makes it this is awesome. Let's go hate our lives for the next couple hours. But when you're losing and he's doing that, it's kind of all right, hey, bro, we got to kind of tighten up.
Because I find humor in bad shit too. And I would just be like, yeah, we suck.
Yeah, why are we wearing,
you gonna get cut? You think you're gonna get cut?
Why are we doing this walkthrough? And it's hey, come on, let's just.
We were talking about the Patriots earlier and how Belichick has made his name off motherfucking everybody in the meeting rooms, right? he was the only one that could say shit to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But he would cuss out the starters just as much as anybody else. And now they stink. And I feel like Belichick is probably still doing that same stuff. If you just have a coach that's being a super hard ass all the time, if you're good, he can motivate you to take that extra step. But then if you're just on a terrible, terrible team and you've just got like a shit talking head coach, is there a point where that just turns everybody off and people start tuning you out?
Yeah, you don't want to come to work. Like you're just like, fuck, how many more weeks do we got left? And then you start thinking about, you start looking at the last game, the date of it, so that way you can make plans after. Because you're literally like, you're like checking out, because the head coach, if he's being like an asshole and you're like if you're in the hole, I get it. If bad football is being played, like we got to watch tape critically. We got to look at ourselves closely. We got to change some things up. But if you're an asshole, like at all parts of the day, like you are the one influencing the entire team. Like I get it. Everybody, like I know for me, it's like I feel if I play bad, I'm feeling shitty that we can't get it done. Whether or not you have guys who bitch about the calls, you got this, but then there's guys where it's like as long as we all execute, like it doesn't fucking matter. We gotta put some winning tape out there. And then you got a head coach that's like he's shitty to be around. It's like, dog, you don't even want to like come to work. You're like, if you feel him bust balls and be like, hey, loosen up, like let's have some juice, let's have some energy. You think like, okay, I can get myself out of this hole, and it's good that he's being this way because it's gonna make for a productive practice.
Right.
But if he's being an asshole, you're just thinking like, man, it sucks to be around just because you feel like you can't do nothing right. It's like something as small as like, I'm not saying this happens in the NFL, but in college. It's like, why isn't your shirt tucked in? If you're winning, no one gives a shit if your shirt is tucked in. But if you're losing, all of a sudden, literally everything you're doing matters.
Right.
Like if you got to go to the bathroom, if
Yeah.
you got to go to the bathroom during a meeting, it's like, we're not doing all the little things. And it's just like, dog, now we're like micromanaging at this point. And so it is. It's like it just sucks the spirit out of the building. And it gets dark later in the year. It gets dark early at like 5. So you're just like, honestly, you like hate. You like hate going to work.
That sounds miserable, actually. Like being on the Patriots right now would suck, because at least in years of the past where you might have like a little downturn in the middle of the season, you at least know that if Belichick comes in and starts ripping you apart for film, or he's just like overbearing, being an asshole, he's doing it because you have a chance to win a Super Bowl and to achieve something special. And now it's like they don't have that carrot that they're dangling. So it's like, why am I doing this? Like, this sucks. I kind of feel bad for Patriots players at this point. It's weird to say, but I do.
I've never, like, obviously I haven't gotten to be in like a Belichick meeting. But yeah, I wonder what that vibe is like. It's like if you're Mac Jones right now.
It'd be good.
He haven't thrown a touchdown all October. It's like,
Yeah.
I wonder what it is like being in those guys' heads, like when that's happening. But yeah, man, it's like Jay Gruden, like a positive when if we'd be losing or we'd be down, he would always keep like an optimistic energy about him to where it'd more so be you and the position coaches and others that are kind of like being assholes, and you're like, all right, you can deal with that. But if your head coach is being that way, he moves the entirety, because if his asshole's tight, all the coordinators' assholes tight, which is going to trickle down to the assistant coaches. They're over coaching you and being over analytical about every step you're taking. To where it's like, hey man, I get it's probably bad in those coaching meetings right now, but you don't have to bring all this bad energy to the meeting room.
Yeah, man. I would like to just hang out in the locker room once. Just, with the boys.
Yeah. I think
you miss that.
Oh, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
I miss those parts. It's like being on the field, unless it's like those big games where you're like, oh man, this is the shit that you strive to try and play for. It's like when Sirianni, when he was crying during the Super Bowl last year, and you're sitting there looking, and at some point you can kind of chuckle, but then there's like a massive party that's like, man, right when the season ends and you give yourself 2 weeks off and then you're at it, you're like every workout, every week, every day, training camp, OTAs, all of it tried leading you to get to this game. And it's like, those are the things. Those are the times you miss it.
How's your chugging going these days?
Good. I don't know if you guys saw Beer Olympics.
It makes me laugh every time.
I was next to fast chuggers, but I do feel like I got a little bit more respect.
The two things you do that make me laugh every time, and you can keep doing them, is the chuggings and when you take people for a walk. When you take people for a walk, I laugh every single
I like
time.
when you tuck people in.
Yeah.
That's the best. Yeah.
Talk to him like a little child. I do. I get a lot of joy out of it. Sometimes you got to try and figure out, am I doing this too much? Not enough?
No, I don't think. I think you've hit gold with those two. Like, I really do.
What are we down to? Like 9-10 seconds on a beer?
On a beer, I don't know. You guys got a beer?
We got a beer
Is
somewhere.
this yours? No, that's Hank's.
Yeah, it's Hank's.
Shane, do we have
Hey,
Coors Light in the fridge?
What was it? It was what was the chug? Was it a 3-beer chug at the Olympics? I know Taylor was talking about it earlier. That's why I'm looking at you
So
like
yeah,
you know.
PFT and I are verbally sort of in for the Olympics.
We're
Soft
interested.
verbal.
Yeah, we're
interested.
soft verbal.
You remember
Soft
like
verbal.
when LeBron said he wanted to do the dunk contest that year?
Yeah.
That's what me and Big Cat are at right now.
Yeah, right.
Like it looks awesome. We were
Our
watching.
name is being floated around. I do think that we need to figure out a way to possibly bring security for ourselves. Because I said this to Will and Taylor, PFT. I think you probably I said it about both of us. I think you probably agree. Like, we are pretty good at talking shit. If we get drunk, we'll talk more shit. And I think there might be a point where we're talking shit to a level that some of the other drunk guys who are a lot bigger than us are like, these guys think they're smarter than us and we're fucked.
I could see saying the wrong thing to Taylor.
Yeah.
And then Taylor just
Yeah,
slapping me.
Yeah, and also just all like
Taylor's somebody who will shit talk. It goes like it's a hard like, hey,
There's a line.
yeah.
Yeah, and when he
Like you don't gotta look at my man and talk about how he rides the bench and like you were, it's like relax. He's working hard for where he's at.
So I think we're verbally in though. I think we're verbally in. I think it would be a very fun time.
You guys would be a great addition. I really don't think like anything would happen.
No, I don't think anything would happen.
Unless you wanted to play pool basketball.
Right,
and then
that's
it
the
got
problem.
Like,
Is
rough.
I saw our guy Shane get just bullied in the pool, and it's like that would have been me because I would be like, yeah, like, oh yeah, Kittle, I'll back you down. And then I'll just be like in a fucking sharpshooter from Michael Chandler and be like, how'd this happen?
So
I watched Shane's Beer Olympics, and I know every step that he took is the exact same step I would take. Come in, talk shit, also maybe kind of want to wrestle with the boys, and then next thing you know, you wake up with a shitload of bruises and injuries.
What are the events? Walk me through the rundown.
So
here.
the ones we did this past year, which now it seems like we could be going somewhere else, but it was
They got to add beer dye.
you got a beer chug, like a 3-beer chug to start, and that kind of seeds you based on the tournament. It's not worth as many points.
Is it 3-beer chug like between two people or between your teammates or just individual?
It's 2-on-2.
Okay.
And then you're part of like that heat to where you're all getting timed. They take the average, and then you get seeded going into the 4 games. The 4 games were flip cup, beer pong, beer ball. Then maybe that was it.
Beer pong, flip cup. What's beer ball?
You had a great. That's the one that will get us hurt.
Beer ball.
They play like hardcore defense.
Yeah,
that's one where I saw James Neal like run across the table and like box someone out. Now you might have done it.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
I was blacked out.
Yeah.
But beer ball is like where a can of beer is sitting on each corner, and you take a ping pong ball and you throw it at the beer can, and wherever it bounces, the team defending has to grab it and touch the table. But if say it hits the can,
injury. Yeah,
you
there'll
get
be
to open and
stitches.
start trying to chug. And people have some gray area rules. Like George plays in a way like when we went to Kittle Fest, his rules are so dialed that not one drop can come out of the beer can for 3 seconds, which is like you have to, as you're chugging, you have to like suck and blow. So that way, because if you do this and one drop comes off, you have to get a new beer, which is like,
my
hey, that's a little
God.
too hard.
Yeah, that's serious stuff.
Yeah, beer dye though has got to get added.
Beer dye is a fun
It's
game.
the best game.
And then the two final teams, they do like this. We basically did like a big relay, but at that point it was dark and it was like this was probably not the best.
I used to do at Beer Olympics. We'd do Ring of Fire, where you stand around a keg, right, and you have to take a shot and chug a beer, and then the next person has to take a shot, chug a beer, all while Ring of Fire, the song is playing. See how many times you can go around the circle before the song's over. Now that was a lot of puke.
That's pretty good.
There was a lot of
That's pretty hardcore.
There was a lot of puke involved in that
You
one.
also should do for the final 2 teams, which we used to do in college, is just do beer pong, but the whole cup is tables. It takes a while, but it's fun because you end up with like weird, like you got like 3 over here and 2 over here, and like
You put all of the like
the
all
entire
over the
cup
the
is
entire table.
Yeah, the entire table is cups. So it's like 50 on 50 cups.
The mistake we made was doing 10 like 10 cups for beer pong because it took such a long time.
That might be the only problem with beer diet. But
Like-
you could play short games. You played at 5 or something.
Yeah, because that was the only because I brought a beer diet, but I felt like I was when we were all trying to figure out the games. I felt like I was the only one who had played it, so guys didn't really understand like how fun it was.
It is so much fun,
Dude, it
especially
is-
if you
yeah.
can do it on grass and you can like dive for the die. The best.
I would say do 6 cup pong?
Yeah.
Is that the one down from 10?
And get flip cup out.
Trade out flip cup for beer die.
Yes.
Go beer die, beer ball, because I think beer ball's a great time. I think we just got to be careful, like how we kind of
Get injured.
Yeah, and just like, people are drinking while they're playing drinking games, not realizing how fucked up we are going to be because the energy's so high that we do this. We did the anthem with the rookies. The rookie O-line's there singing the national anthem. The sun's out. Everybody's just like excited about how fun this could be. So everybody's getting pretty much drunk by the time you play the second game.
Yeah, you pregame for the beer Olympics.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because you're like, this is going to be an awesome party. And then you have to compete.
Because Taylor will take me aside. He's like, hey, practice chugging. I'm like, bro, I'm going to have to really drink. Like, why are you making me drink this beer right now?
There's
Chug
a beer
it.
right there. You want to
Chug
chug it?
Practice right now. You should
All
also
right,
get
so
a medic
just
next
so everyone
year.
knows,
Have a medic show up.
So for people who are watching on the YouTube, don't try this at home because Will's been chugging for a very long time. Yeah, Jake's got the professional, and I don't want to see anyone get hurt chugging like Will. All right, ready?
You timing?
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, yeah.
he's
Chug
fucking
it. Chug
killing
it.
He's
Skull it.
Crushing this.
Beast.
Oh, man.
You're a fucking monster.
There he
You're a
goes.
machine.
Oh, shit.
Let's go,
Wait,
Will.
slow down.
Look at the boy.
You're going to burp. You're going to burp. You're going so fast.
Look at the boy go.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. And.
Oh, done.
What do we
What we
got? 20 seconds.
Let's go, Will.
Yes,
Out of a can,
Will.
too. That's tough.
You
That's hard to
fucking
do.
crushed that, dude.
Let's go, bro.
You have gotten better.
Oh, I was trying to tell everybody that the respect has grown because there's a lot of people talking shit, and I'm like, I don't think people get like what it's like in real life compared to what you see on a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people watching at home, they're like, oh, I could chug. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
No. All right, I have one last question. Roback question. This has been awesome, Will. You're one of our favorite guys. We love working with you. Can't wait till you come to the new office and
That's
mix it
gonna be
up
so
with the
fun,
boys. Roback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Roback.com, promo code TAKE. Jake, take your stopwatch back out and give us a timer for a minute. And because we haven't done it yet, I'm going to give you 1 full minute to talk about Nebraska.
1 full minute.
One
to talk
full
about
minute
Nebraska?
to talk about Nebraska.
What am I doing here? You want me
Whatever,
to piss?
It's already
whatever.
started.
No, wherever you think about the program right now, there's been a lot of. It's already started. It's
Oh,
already
why did I
No,
go
you
right now? Hang on, wait.
Because we're talking about Nebraska right now.
Are you pulling up stats?
No, I'm just pulling up the.
You have
the
the notes
standings.
app?
You haven't started it yet.
I'll
No.
restart it.
Okay.
All right. I don't need the notes app.
Okay. This is because there's a lot of talk. Nebraska stinks. Will's delusional. He's the only one who still thinks that they're good.
I'm not.
Okay. Wait. Is this?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
got me
Okay,
in. You got
yeah.
me in.
3, 2, 1, go. In my opinion, I know people think I'm delusional about it, but you have to have optimism when pulling for your program. And number one, we're not the same Nebraska team that like we were last year at the end of Scott Frost. Like Rule is like a new era. And yeah, we're 3-3 and everybody's like, oh, you got whooped by Colorado. The final score there doesn't tell the whole story. Minnesota coming out first week, a Friday game. We had 4 turnovers in that game. You remove turnovers. I know, what are we, 3-3 right now? But we're sitting at like, we got our ass whooped by Michigan. But to think we cannot control the West, let me rattle you off the rest of our schedule. Northwestern, win. Purdue, win. Michigan State, a win. That's 6-3. I got 17 seconds. That is 6-3. Maryland, I had chalked up as a loss, but Illinois just beat them. Like they're a beatable team.
That's facts.
You win that, you're 7-3. You're bowling, playing Wisconsin, who just lost to an Iowa team, and then at the very end you have Iowa, which they are beatable. We can win the Big Ten West and go to Indy.
Oh, I love it. He did it. 1 minute.
That
was great.
Do you believe that?
No, I really
none
do.
of it. None of it.
Yes.
Because you were very convincing.
Yeah, no, he's
But if
really
you actually,
good at convincing
but if
people.
you actually believe everything you said, you are delusional.
No, Will, if you listen to Will talk about Nebraska, they are like 1 play away from a championship.
Is that true?
No, but he does a really good job of selling
realistically,
it.
if we get to the Big Ten, you got to assume we're going to play, we lost 45-7 at Michigan. It's not like I think we go to the Big Ten championship. Now, do I think if we win the next 6 in a row, it's a different ball club going out to Indy ready to get revenge? Yes. But am I delusional to think we're winning this game? Now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess so.
Yes, because you won 6 in a row.
Yeah, yes,
you look awesome.
You have momentum.
What if you win the championship? What if you beat who are you going to play? Probably Ohio State, Penn State.
Is Nebraska not out of the college football
And
playoff?
literally,
Yeah,
we're
that's what I'm
going to
thinking.
pull
Alabama-
all of this tape.
Alabama
Everybody,
might
who's
lose.
laughing now?
Yeah.
Alabama might lose three games. Georgia might lose 3 games. And then, I think you guys.
We're not
would-
getting in the
You
college
would be if you.
football
If,
don't
Will,
go,
listen,
don't
hear me out.
Will.
Hear me out. If
You
you go,
said it. You started your speech. Optimism.
if you go undefeated from this point out, I think you would be the best 3-loss team in the
No.
country if Georgia also had 3
which
losses.
would be incredible because they
and
were the
Alabama
best
had
We've already,
3
like-
win
losses.
team a few years ago.
Yeah.
We were that's of all time. So 3 wins now. I don't think there's a world there. Like before the season started, I predicted 9-3.
Oof.
I see the path. Like I know you're like saying be optimistic on national championship. For me, it's worrying about things we can control.
Yeah.
And right now, if you see the rest of our schedule, we truly have an opportunity to control the West.
Yeah. If you guys start
The West
taking
goes through
steroids like
Lincoln.
you used
The
to.
West goes through Lincoln. We are holding the gun.
Just get the boys back on the gear.
I love
Think about it. We
Just
got
juice it up.
think about it. We got whooped by Michigan, and then we came out. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're probably not going to beat Illinois." And we take care of business against Illinois. And Harburg, he's throwing all over the place. We tighten some stuff up. We're running that team out of the building.
Yeah. And that's a good Illinois team.
They beat Maryland,
They're not. They're not.
but I know you're right. But they beat Maryland, who
That's true.
who gave Ohio State a half until
Okay, so
until
here's
their line-
as
they're not
someone who
built for
also
the
roots for a
trenches.
team in the Big Ten. Just a thought. I think maybe Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State are really, really good, and like literally every other team stinks.
I think what sucks, honestly,
That's probably the truth.
is if there was one team I thought would win the West was you guys.
I know.
And that
We got Iowa.
Yeah, you got
Iowa.
That
Iowa didn't
weird
run a
loss
play in the
against
red
Iowa,
zone.
man.
Yeah.
It's just like it blows my mind because I'm like, okay, Wisconsin. I'll find my optimism in this, but I do think Wisconsin probably wins the West. But since they dropped to Iowa, now it's
Now,
truly
now it's anyone's
it's
game.
wide open for me.
I got a Michigan question. Have you seen the news about Harbaugh?
Yeah, and I think 45-7 looks a lot different now coming out of Lincoln.
You think you got all your plays?
I think he got some of them.
Yeah. I don't. Do you have any idea what the surveillance thing could be? Like, is he flying drones over practices?
I don't know, dude. I try and think about that stuff, and even if I'm like say they do get a bead on something outside of formation. Now, college could be different because formations, alignment, like whether the X is nasty or outside the numbers, college tips you off a lot more than the NFL. So, if guys have an understanding or the coaching staff has an understanding, there could be some wrinkles within the game that could take place, but it would still be hard to pull shit off.
I mean,
Even if you knew shit before the game happened.
it'd be dumb of him to do this against shitty teams.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this, like, no disrespect to Nebraska,
But that's 45-7 looks a lot
but
different.
it does look different. But maybe wait to do this later on in the season.
lot
If he wasn't
different.
cheating, what do you think the score would have been like? 30-7?
Listen. They knew
So-
Nebraska was going to go 4th and 1 out of the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do you know that?
So
stop.
that example right there is like you still have to line up and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some situations where you might have the advantage. Like I don't know until it comes out and you can hear like if they actually cheated. I'd be fascinated to know like what they were actually doing because I'm not really sure what all you can do outside of like taking signals. But you gotta adjust who the dummy is and. You know what I
Nothing
mean?
would surprise me about Harbaugh. Nothing. Absolutely. Like, there's no level to which that he could have gone with this thing.
Yeah.
Like, the dude approaches running a football team like he runs the CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any plot that he cooked up in his head to steal shit, you would not shock me with it. So, I don't really hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it either.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a high-level football coach like that, your ass is going to be fired if you have 2 bad seasons back to back, right?
Yeah.
So, your job is predicated on you being excellent. Do whatever you have to do to be great.
Yeah. And if it's like, do it. You don't get caught.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
Hey, what's funny is you said that. So the year we beat the Ravens in 2015 at the Ravens, it came down. I think we beat them like 17-16. I had a tip off from somebody on the Ravens team that gave me a couple of their plays.
A player.
A player. And so when they were backed up, we knew that they were running some trick play to come out because they knew what defense we set heavy in, like when somebody's backed up. So there was like one play we had tipped off. There's another one we had tipped off on.
Why'd he give you that? Just a boy?
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Okay, it was just a boy being a boy.
Yeah, a boy being a boy.
Did you make a tackle?
That Ravens game was that was a solid game for your boy. Outside of the first drive. First drive was bad. Ravens went down and scored. But I got Yonda that game. And the last play on Tampa 2 when I hit who was the receiver over the middle that closed the game out, it was a juicy game for your boy in the fourth quarter.
Here we go.
It was a juicy game for your boy in the fourth quarter.
All right, well, Will.
Love you guys, man.
Thank you, man. You're the best. We love you. And yeah, you're the best.
Thanks.
You are. You are. We
that.
can't wait to hang out some more.
Yeah,
we
dude,
should make this official and be friends.
Yeah, Barstool HQ, Chicago.
Yes, because you're coming for
going
Thursdays.
down, bro. We got to do something every Thursday.
Yes.
Whether it's a PE day or something that's always lined up.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Done.
Will Compton was brought to you by my great friends over at ZBiotics. Fun fact, I just got some ZBiotics shipped to my house today. I did not know that we were going to be doing an ad read for them. I buy ZBiotics. I keep ZBiotics. I order 2 shipments a year. And what ZBiotics does is nothing short of incredible. If there's a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after a night of drinking, it's with ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic produces an enzyme and it breaks the byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you're going to feel your best tomorrow. I've got ZBiotics. I've been drinking ZBiotics for the last, I want to say, 4 years. It's my secret weapon. People come over to my house. If I'm having a little get-together, we start our night out. I pass around ZBiotics. Everybody gets their own bottle. You take one drink of it, and you feel so much better the next day. I think Donnie recently. I gave Donnie a ZBiotic, and he drank it, woke up feeling fresh as a daisy the next day. So this Halloween, pair your candy and cocktails with ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol to avoid a spooky next morning. Go to zbiotics.com/PMT. That's ZBIOTICS.com/PMT. Get 15% off your first order when you use promo code PMT at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're unsatisfied for any reason, they will refund your money. No questions asked. That's zbiotics.com/PMT. Use the code PMT at checkout, 15% off. Thank you to ZBiotics for sponsoring this episode and our good times. And also thank you because you have helped me in the past. You will help me in the future. I put the PFT Commenter official stamp of approval on ZBiotics. Not only am I advertising for them, I'm also a client.
Okay, before we get to Fyre Fest, it is presented by Morgan & Morgan. We talked about Morgan & Morgan at the top, but they are giving away 2 tickets and $2,000 to UFC 296 to see Edwards versus Covington to go to battle in Las Vegas. A lucky AWL, Morgan & Morgan, you know it, the America's largest injury law firm. So entering to win is super easy. Just text PMT to For the People. That's 484-373-6742 for your chance to win $2,000, 2 tickets to UFC 296 in Las Vegas. That's an incredible deal. All you have to do is text PMT to For the People. That's 484-373-6753. Also, it helps us because it shows that people are listening and acting on this. So just do it. Text it right now. I'm actually going to text it right now. Or click the link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 48 contiguous United States and D.C. who are 18 plus. Sweepstakes ends 11/20/2023. For entry and official rules, visit morganufc296.sweetpea.com. Again, just text For the People to 484-373-6742 or click the link in the YouTube below. Okay, Fyre Fest of the week. Henry, was it the fact that you came armed with a stat to make fun of Max and it didn't work?
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets. That's gonna hang over my head all weekend.
When you found it, where you're like, I've got him.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
he had I don't know if you looked over, but when we started talking about the Phillies, he had like a little Grinch smile that the smile just kept on curling, and he was just like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, no, that was
Listen,
really bad. That
the
hurt.
stat game
That
isn't
hurt.
for everybody, Hank.
No, yeah, I got duped by a fake tweet. It's tough.
No, you didn't. The tweet was accurate. You just misinterpreted it.
Someone say that's fake news. It's fake news. So that was my Fyre Fest. My other Fyre Fest, which I feel like is probably, if you had a list of my Fyre Fest over the years, losing headphones, probably, I don't know, 5 or 6.
Yeah, all-time leader.
Definitely. And
Do you do AirPods?
so every time I lose AirPods, I'm like, fuck.
Huh.
Yeah, no,
Huh.
I know.
This is interesting. Hank has poor shamed me for using wired headphones. He has made fun of me many times for using wired
Not
headphones.
many times.
Many times.
They don't fall out of pockets.
And also,
That's
the
not true.
microphone is better.
I actually think that when Apple sat down, they designed the AirPods, they put them in the smoothest case possible. That is the easiest to fall out of pockets.
Yes.
That's not a coincidence.
Wired
Well-
headphones are better.
The part one of the Fyre Fest is that also fuck Apple, because at an airport I got like a secondary, like it was still like expensive, like $60 or $70 or something for a Bluetooth pair, and then it just like it always, the connection always sucks, and it half works, half doesn't, which is definitely Apple just being like, if it's not AirPods, the product's not going to work as good. So fuck Apple for that. Then, which is just my dumb brain, I didn't check. I just thought the Apple store was open till 9. That was just the time I made up in my head. So I walked there. I walked there
Yeah, probably 9.
on Wednesday night. I was like, 9. That's pretty early. We're in a city. And I walked there, got there at like 8:15, realized they closed. And it was like a mile and a half walk. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll just walk, get some exercise. Like, so
I got plenty of time.
yeah, it was like a 35, 40-minute walk. If I just Ubered there, I would have been there in 5 minutes. Walked there, no headphones, and then I had to walk home. And now I'm traveling this weekend. I have a shitty pair of Bluetooth headphones with one. Like,
Why don't you
one
get
of them comes
wired?
through. I probably will.
How did the silent walk go? The TikTok walk.
Oh, yeah. You were Gen Zing it.
Yeah.
Not great. Walking with music's a lot better.
I said that and I got shamed for that.
I was thinking about that the other day. And
Look at this.
With the TikTok
Yeah,
walk,
take them.
the silent one,
No.
they're basically telling women, like, go on a walk without your phone so you can't call anybody
Yeah.
if you get in trouble. And then it just seems very shady to me.
See this? Everyone watching on the YouTube? I'm giving you a pair of wired headphones.
Wow, thanks, Big Cat.
Yes. For anyone who has this problem like Hank, all you got to do is they're like $30. I bought like 6 pairs of them for the same price as the AirPods. I should have them everywhere, and I never have a problem.
So my last flights that I've taken, I have not brought headphones by accident with me, so I've had to buy headphones. I'm 0 for 2. I'm on a 2-game losing streak in buying the wrong kind of headphones, getting onto a plane with like the
Wired
wrong connection.
headphones. Go back to the past.
They're wired. They're
Yeah.
not the right kind to hook up to an iPhone. There's nothing worse than getting on a plane, opening up a brand new pair of headphones that you buy out of a vending machine in the airport, and then you can't plug it in.
Also, another plus for wired headphones, people don't bother you because they see that you have headphones in. It's better. I know that the technology is cool and all this shit, and you feel cool. I'm telling you, I'll stand on the soapbox. Wired headphones, way to go. Microphone's better. Don't lose them. Yeah, they get a little tangled, but guess what? That's kind of fun.
The
to
only
untangle.
plus to the wireless is you can charge your phone and then listen at the same time.
Yeah, but who cares?
Well, that can be a big deal sometimes.
That's fine. Just charge your phone and then just switch back and forth.
If you're trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm switching back and forth all the time.
I actually did that last night. I woke up with like 10%
You switch
charge.
back and forth?
No, I woke up. I woke up with 10% charge on my phone. That's a bad feeling. Starting your day off at a 10% charge.
You might as well just
die.
Just not start. Just don't go outside.
Yeah, you call in sick.
Yeah. Although
my phone's low.
I have noticed that they finally have gotten this fast charger down. Like the fast charger is insanely fast.
I'd say the fast charger is him.
Yeah, it really is, because it's been the longest time. We're like, why can't they just have a charger that charges your phone quickly? Now I feel like if I plug in my phone, I'm like 30% on a college football Saturday, maybe 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys like the pads that you put your phone down on?
No,
they don't charge that fast.
That's
They're
the
slow.
AirPods.
Yeah,
they try to make this technology hands-free, Bluetooth, all this shit. No, dude. Give me the fucking old-fashioned one.
I have one in my car, and it's
it never works.
Yeah, very slow charger.
You just slowly lose battery instead of like fastly losing.
Everything else about the car is great, though.
Yeah.
Shout out Chevy.
Okay, PFT, your Fyre Fest.
So my Fyre Fest, we talked about it a little bit on Wednesday. Hank brought it up when he put me on the hot seat for the tattoo thing, which was him probably deflecting something else that was going on inside his own brain. But yeah, maybe a little
Probably
bit.
the Phillies winning.
Yeah, and the Patriots stats are getting to Hank big time.
No, I love them.
They're
stats.
getting to you so hard that you're trying to create your own stats and
And you
screwing
can't
them
even
up.
do it.
I love stats.
Yeah. So the tattoo thing, I have decided on a tattoo. So I'm going to get a tattoo. It's going to be on my arm, and it's not going to be the plaid half sleeve yet. I'm going to get that eventually, though. That's going to be my next one. But I'm going to get a tattoo, I think, on my forearm, my right forearm.
I like it.
So it's going to be sick, and I will do it on the live stream. How's that?
Love it.
What's
Love
it
it.
Sound good? What's that?
What's it saying?
So it's gonna be for my dad. So it's
very
something
nice.
it's something that he
Beautiful.
designed on there.
Love
And
that.
I feel like the first tattoo that you get. So he used to design labyrinths, not like mazes, but like these. I don't even know how to explain. They're like symbols almost. And so he designed a bunch of them. So I'm gonna get one of those on my forearm.
That's
really
fail
nice.
safe too.
Yeah.
No one can make fun of it.
Yeah.
No one can be like bad tattoo.
It's a good design too.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Awesome.
So I'll be doing
That's
that.
sick.
But with the Fyre Fest is that it's gonna probably hurt. But
No.
some people tell me it feels good. It might just feel good.
I might also still get if we get it on the live stream, there's a good chance I just get a quick one as well
yeah.
because it's gonna be right there.
He or she will be there.
He or she. By the way, we should make sure that the Pardon My Take studio, I'd assume we could go live on YouTube if there is a Game 7, because we would definitely want to do a live stream from there.
Yeah, I'm sure everything will be built and set up and perfect, ready to go.
Okay.
What about the lottery machine, Hank?
Hank is guaranteed it.
Yeah, I know, but
For Tuesday?
wasn't he being weird when we were
He
asking
was being
about
so
it?
weird.
There's something that he's not telling us.
There's
about
something
this
you're not
lottery
telling us.
machine.
Oh,
Tell it now. Tell
Oh,
it.
you put yourself on that lottery machine, didn't you?
Tell it, Hank.
Did you wrap something for yourself?
Tune in Tuesday.
Oh, you motherfucker!
What are you not telling us?
I'll throw that lottery. I'll burn it.
Be a shame.
Well, if you tried to do something,
Just trying to help the program.
no,
Did
no.
you put
He
like the
his
number 6 on there?
I'll
Did you put
completely
two
rip-
number 6s in there?
I'll rip that thing down.
I'm gonna count and put them
yeah,
in.
we
I'm
need.
gonna
You know
count
how
them.
like
I got it.
at the Oscars they have the accounting
So
firm.
you show the ball.
No,
to
I
the-
think what he did is he probably put something like a plaque or something, a memorial to him hitting the lottery ball on the lottery ball machine.
There's only one way to find out, and that's Tuesday.
I'm telling you right now,
There's actually another way to find out.
I-
That's if you just tell us.
I will throw that thing in the garbage.
I mean, I haven't seen it in the flesh. So
Okay,
I
but
don't
it's
know what it
our
looks like.
lottery ball machine. It's not your lottery ball
Show me the mock-up, Hank.
I'm well aware.
Jake, can you please get on top of this? Find
Yeah.
out where it is. Find out that it's in safe hands. Find out that Hank's not doing anything to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
I have an
Tuesday.
idea.
Get on the case.
I
Get
have
on
an
the
idea.
All right, get on the case.
Yep.
Okay, so my Fyre Fest, we were talking about the studio earlier. Looks incredible. Office is going to blow people's minds. So the office schedule, the official opening of the entire office is going to be probably the second week of November. We will be in our studio next week, but it's a slow. We got to get occupancy in half the office, all that stuff. And it is going to look very clean, very awesome. People are probably going to be like, "What the fuck?" It's too clean.
No one's gonna. I don't. We've done this twice.
Yeah, we've junked up too soon.
Like
I know,
Our
I know.
studio in New York was also clean.
No, this one looks nicer to start.
The one in New York looked nice.
No, but
for
this
like
one has
a week.
like lights and shit and looks cool.
Sure.
All right. Either way, yes, I'm agreeing with you. I just know like people will be like, "Oh, this is too professional for them." We will junk it up, and here's where the junk it up happens. What? You don't think people's names say that?
No, I mean it's
Okay.
it's professional. It's a professional podcast.
Right.
The beauty of the
Our
show,
other
though-
studio was also a professional podcast.
No, our old studio member was blank, and then we junked it.
we also get away with all the stupid shit. Like when one of us says a completely incorrect stat, we get away with that because it looks unprofessional behind us.
I'm not worried, Hank. I'm just saying, I'm letting people know it's going to look awesome. And don't worry, because we're going to junk it up. And here's where the junk it up part happens. This
Why
is
don't
a
we just
Fyre
have it
Fest.
look awesome all the time?
No, I don't want that.
See,
Because-
it's corporate Hank.
Because it
Corporate
doesn't.
Hank.
When it
Corporate
looks
Hank.
awesome, it doesn't actually look awesome.
Yeah.
Got it.
It
looks like every other podcast.
Got it.
We
We
should
want
just
to
do the
look
pod-
like ourselves.
We should do the podcast in bed.
It does
and
look
interview
awesome.
people in
though.
bed.
The place looks incredible.
Lottery machine confirmed that it will be ready Tuesday.
But no, I need you to have it. I need to
by
get
me,
it.
did you just take my
I need
report
to
there?
I need to make
Please
sure
credit.
you get it so that he can't do anything to it.
We need the location.
You
We
need to be
know
the
where it is.
person who makes sure it's there, not him. He's gonna do something.
Any road you're gonna go by is gonna lead to me.
Jake, if I have to get involved, get me involved.
You're involved right now. Check your phone.
Oh, this is probably a text thread that I never responded to.
Jake, we need you to be like a guard in a video game, like an old video game that just paces back and forth constantly.
What are you guys, a
For the
side
next-
text without me?
The next 6 days, just guarding that machine, making sure Hank doesn't screw with it. Because
That's not nice, Jake.
Hank will weigh down balls. He will.
Okay. All right. Now I'm getting some explanations. Yeah. Listen to the episode. I have no idea what Hank's talking about. Machine was delivered last week. It's getting wrapped between tomorrow and Monday. All right. All right. All right. We're good. It's not a thing. All right. I got it. Okay. To my Fyre Fest, the studio. We were walking around the new office, taking a tour, and this is a Fyre Fest for me and you, PFT. Viewing everything, incredible. Walked around the corner into this big room. It's just filled with our junk that we never threw away.
Yeah.
That they shipped to us from New York.
Oh,
Yeah.
including the old lottery machine.
Big time problem.
Yeah.
I was like, what is all this? And
I-
then Pete was like, I think it's your stuff. And I started looking closer. There was like a guitar.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like jerseys.
I think my golf clubs are there.
I 100% when I was like, yeah, just because here's how stupid I am. When we moved out of New York, I didn't really want to pack. So I said, just ship it all, being like, that will never happen. Well, guess what? It's happened. They've shipped all of our junk, and now we have to figure out what to do with it.
We are like dogs
so
that
fucked.
don't have object permanence, so we haven't seen all the junk in like 3 months. So we just assumed it was gone.
Dude, Hank saw me. I was just like, what the fuck is this? And yeah, so we have an entire room of junk that we're going to have to deal with.
I can help you guys.
Thank
Organize
you.
Thanks,
it.
Jake.
When you
I
say
don't
help,
think it's
you just-
organizable, though.
No, the organization is not the problem.
The only thing I care about if they better have sent all the Blake Bortles jerseys that we've accumulated because we have, I think, 5 of them. We need to make a wall of Blake Bortles.
We need Marie Condi or whatever her
I
name
can
is.
help organize
Condo.
this week if you need it.
No, the problem that we have, Jake, is you need to like, I don't know how you can do it, but like subtly let us see things. And if we don't have a reaction to it, you can just throw it out. Because a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff I thought was thrown out, but it's here. And now I started to look through it and I was like, oh shit, I'm happy they saved this. Never will wear it. That's the
I've
problem.
done that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have PFT, we have an entire room full of shit.
Yeah, that's gonna
They,
be
they
tough.
shipped my
I thought that was no longer a problem we would have to deal with.
dude, they shipped my locked cabinet drawer. I don't even know what's in it. I was just like, I don't want to clean it.
I found some very old drugs in my cabinet.
Oh, I
some
definitely.
very old drugs.
Oh, what are you gonna say, Max?
To their defense,
No, it's not their problem at all. They did what we said.
Thought you should have thrown that thing out.
Of
But
course.
you brought it into the studio one day and you were like, you need to make sure that this gets shipped out. I need this in Chicago. And I was like, what? In my head, I was like, what could you possibly need from this?
I think it has old phones and computers.
Yeah, that's what you kept saying. Old phones and computers,
I
which
don't
is the easiest thing to throw out.
No,
No,
why
you
do
never
you
what
know.
if someone steals my data, dude?
You might have pictures. You might have pictures that you want.
You
I'm
do
gonna tell
not
you this
need
right
that.
now, Max. That cabinet is not gonna be opened. This could be a time capsule. We're gonna open it in 10 years.
That was like a very important thing. You were like, make sure that they send this to me in Chicago. I was like, okay.
It's like bank statements.
I remember
and-
Billy was next to me in the room and he was like, oh, Big Cat Duffy has so much money in there. Like
don't.
that,
I
that
mean,
was like his first thought was like, how can I get the money? That's
If
in
I
it.
do,
It's-
that would be sick. But I
Billy's
don't think I do.
He's always scheming on something.
Yeah.
He's always got an angle.
Yeah. Hank, you saw it. It's bad.
Yeah, we got a plan.
What? I hate you right now. I hate
Matt,
you.
what do you mean? Max knows. Memes knows.
What's the
You're
plan?
doing some
Oh,
shit.
that's that. Oh,
You guys all know?
I didn't know
I don't know
that
about
that
the
was.
You guys have been plotting.
I don't know
Hank
anything.
is up to some shit right
Oh, I
now.
actually do know this.
And
I
I don't
didn't-
know
I
Tell
didn't-
us
what
the
it
plan.
is.
What are you doing with their stuff?
Don't worry.
Oh,
about
man, Memes is looking at me weird now too.
Why don't you guys trust me?
You guys are going to do something with their
You
stuff.
are acting shady over there.
He's so shady.
I said the lottery ball machine would be set up for Tuesday, and it will be. Fact or fiction?
But what we're asking is, what are you going to do with their stuff?
Get rid of the stuff you don't want and keep the stuff that we do.
And what did you do to our lottery ball machine?
Find out Tuesday. I'm actually care about this new studio reveal tease. I'm trying to,
It's going to be great. I keep saying it's going to be
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
The lottery ball machine is going to be awesome.
It's going to look
Oh, I hate
professional
you.
and cool, and the clips are going to look awesome, and everyone should be happy about
No,
it.
everyone will be happy. Everyone will be happy.
Well, you're
It looks
like
awesome.
prepping them to be mad.
No, I'm not prepping them to be.
I just
Yes.
don't know what kind of monkey business Hank's been pulling
I'm
with the
telling him
machine.
that it's going to look clean, and we're not clean guys, and then it will not look
And
clean.
the machine's going to look clean and awesome.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about this new studio. It's like the perfect studio. I was in it, and it is.
No, it will be.
I don't.
You got to give it a couple weeks. There's going to be some kinks you got to iron out.
Yeah, and we got to put our junk in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to junk it
Yeah.
up.
I feel like people should be able to smell the studio when they're watching it.
Exactly. We're gonna get lived in there. We're gonna really live in it. We have 4 TVs now too.
That's great.
4 in
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah.
That's a perfect amount of TVs for a studio too.
Yeah.
Do we have any in the booth,
Yeah,
Hank?
so we have a booth now, which will be sick.
Have you thought about what
So
you're going
Max,
to
me,
do?
and
Decorate
Jake
that
will all
booth?
be in the booth. Hank is not going to sit in between us anymore, which I think he's probably not enjoyed.
No.
He has a couch that is directly across from where PFT
Is that the
sitting.
guest couch too?
Yeah, yeah. And
cool.
PFT have our usual spots. Like it looks kind of like how we set it up before.
What's the plan for the booth? What are you guys going to put in there?
I don't know. I have no
I
idea.
gotta see
Where-
the
where's
Are
setup.
you
the
guys
lottery
gonna
book?
make it like cool and like no podcasters allowed?
No.
Okay.
Hank, where's the lottery bowl going to live?
Means you got an idea.
In the studio?
Are there TVs in the booth?
I think so. Maybe not.
We'll have to at some point get.
Do you be able to
The
see
booth
one?
will be able to see the other TVs.
Yeah, you'll be able to see one from
Oh.
the booth easily.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah. Okay, Jake, your Fyre Fest.
I lost in the first round of the tennis playoffs.
What?
Oh no, Jake.
Weren't you the favorite?
I was the favorite, and then they bumped me up since we last talked about this. So this was my first match at the higher level, and I was the 6th seed. I would have been the 1 or 2 seed. I was in line.
Why did you bump up?
I didn't. They moved me up because I was crushing
You should
people.
have thrown a game, dude.
I should have, honestly.
Oh, Jake.
Was
this
it close?
I won the first set 6-3. I lost 6-love in the second.
What? What
Yes.
happened?
Guy was better than me in the second, and then we played a super tiebreak, and he beat me 12-10. It was
Ugh.
so close.
Well, that doesn't count for shit.
Doesn't. But yeah, I probably should have thrown a match or
Was it your
two.
forehand or backhand that hurt you the most?
His spin was insane.
Are you a choker?
How could I choke?
Do you have
'Cause
the
I'm a
touch?
I
higher
mean,
seed.
you
6-4.
choked. We were gonna go to the finals.
If I stayed in the 3-5, I should have thrown a game or a match or two.
He
Jake
beat you
can't win the big
6-love
one.
in the second
6-love
set.
in the second set.
Ugh.
It's tough.
That's an all-time choke.
But yeah, I went home and registered for a winter indoor league.
You got no hit in the second set.
Yeah.
Damn.
Were you making all kinds of sounds, mad at yourself?
Oh yeah, I was
Oh.
pissed.
I'm happy I didn't watch that because I would have rooted for the other.
But yeah, yeah,
What was the handshake like after the match?
great match. And then I turned around, I was like,
What? What
I
did you
was
say?
mad at myself.
But what was that? You started a word.
Fudgicles.
You said frick.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez.
So it's tough. Like I don't know where I stand because if I'm gonna get my
Well,
butt,
no, I know what you're saying. You're a loser.
well, I know that, but I'm gonna get my
You
butt
lost.
kicked at the higher level, and I'm gonna kick everyone's butt at the lower level.
Yeah.
Where do
Stay
I
at
do?
the
What do
lower-
I
Yeah,
do?
stay at
low,
the lower
stay
level.
low.
It's pretty
Easy.
easy.
And just
Very
crush
easy.
people.
Yes,
Pretty
yes.
easy.
Yes.
Flags fly forever.
So
Million
should I
percent.
just like punt the next 3 matches and
Yeah.
get demoted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Play right hand.
Yeah. Have me come and play for you.
And then I'll get back down, and then I'll win again.
I'll wear your glasses and I'll just won't hit anything.
Yeah,
Just get better.
or that.
No.
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 That's the wrong
Terrible
advice. Don't
advice.
listen to him.
He's telling you wrong things as
Yeah.
a joke.
No. Don't push
Yeah.
yourself. Just win at the easy level. That's the way
Yeah.
to do it.
And then have like a trophy room for yourself in your apartment.
Yeah.
Look how great I am.
Yeah, I should've-
Imagine
I
how-
would. I was in line to be the 1 or 2 seed.
Because listen, I'll be honest with you, Jake. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the levels. I don't understand
Yeah.
the scoring. I don't care about any of this.
Mhm.
The difference between you walking in here and saying, I lost versus, hey, guys, I won my championship. That's all I care about.
Okay.
So you could play against 5-year-olds and win, and I'd be like, yes, dude.
All right, so maybe I'll punt in the beginning of the next season.
I don't think.
I don't
I
think
don't
he
think.
has
I have
it in
it
him. He
in
doesn't
me.
have it in him.
Yeah, but I might not punt and still get my butt kicked.
And then we'll be right back in this spot, and I'll be like, loser.
Yeah.
I
loser.
want you to win. You're a winner.
I'm a winner.
You're a winner
Except
at
today.
life. Well, yeah, no, I know you
Yeah.
lost today badly, 6-0.
We should just
12-10 in the super
Jake.
tiebreaker.
How about
6-0.
this? How about this? I think I have a solution. So you definitely are too honest to throw some games and get
Yeah.
bumped down, right? What if?
But I could schedule against the top guy.
What if, God forbid, something were to happen to you over the course of the next
You got
month
hit
or
by a
two?
bus?
Well, no, I was thinking
Oh.
like we could do something like
Oh.
we could sneak up and injure him, and we give you like
Minor heart attack?
What if somebody that
Stop.
you work with gave you a mild injury over the course of the next couple months? You tried to play through
It'd
it,
be a shame.
and you stunk, and then you get bumped
But then I
down
wouldn't-
naturally.
But then I wouldn't win at the 3-5
No, you
level.
get better.
Yeah, you'd
Not if I'm
heal.
injured.
You would heal. It wouldn't be a major injury. It'd be like an
We'll
Achilles
see.
or something.
Play with
That's
a
only-
hole in your racket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll slice your Achilles, and then you'll get the Aaron Rodgers surgery.
Yeah.
You'll be back in 3 months, better than ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, you're a loser,
Right now I'm a loser.
and that sucks.
But-
and I hate to say that to you, but 6-0 is
It's bad.
really bad. What
Yeah.
seed was he?
6-11.
He was the lower seed?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a pretty big upset.
Oh, my God.
6-11, that happens all the time.
Oh, my God.
6-11.
My bracket is busted.
5-12. That's the
Oh,
one.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
6-11.
Yeah. If you were a 5 and lost, that'd be better.
Because it's more normal.
More normal. Yeah, 6-11. Come
Yeah.
on, Jake.
You even make it out of the first round?
Yeah,
Scheduled
but
golf.
I'm excited to play pickleball in the new office. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we might have to ban pickleball.
Yeah, I was just saying. I don't know.
Put down the lines and just not
Yeah,
have
listen, you can do
A lot of
anything you
pickleball.
want in the new office. Literally
Except-
anything.
Except pickleball.
Not pickleball.
Yeah, if I come in and there's like a big pickleball being
You're-
played and you're grunting, I might just get on the first
There's no
flight back
grunting
to
in
New
pickle.
York.
There's a little bit.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
grunt.
it's
You
grunting.
grunt.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, good show, boys. Let's wrap up numbers. Last 2
3.
before we have the lottery ball machine.
18. Also, we're
69.
revamping that website. We're going to have a clean slate next week.
And Memes has still not gotten it. He's not gotten in the limbo phase. He's not gotten it before. I can't wait. Oh
2.
my God. The on Tuesday, I might hit like a higher level when we get the new lottery ball machine, and I can say to Hank, have you ever gotten this? It's gonna be
So on opening day
Oh,
of the
it's gonna
original
hit.
machine, you did 9 official drawings.
yeah, we'll only do one.
Hank, you should just take Max's when I take yours.
Yeah. 69. What did you guess?
20.
Come on.
18.
2, 3. Memes, you've never gotten it. 1. 36. 36.
Sorry, Memes.
All right. See everyone on Monday. Max, come back with 2 wins or else you're in trouble.
Love you guys.